right. If you're joining us, thanks so much. We started off with a bottle of alcohol opening, which was great. So if you heard that on,
Did that come through?
it did come through. It came through very
Sorry.
clearly. For session 32, Dragon Slayers. So we had rounded up the session, spending our time in Alathan here. We had went to Brugger's Many Things. We had went to House Fortune and Favor, placed a number of bets. Then we made our way to Linis de Coolrez and actually entered in the group into group competition, which we'll be having in the morning. So first light sort of thing, getting yourself ready and prepared. And then in the afternoon, that's when the individual competition happens. And one of you was enlisted to that, which was Kyler. That competition obviously favors more and high profit, considering the bets from House Fortune and Favor. So there is a level of anticipation, excitement that has kind of endured through Lathan for these competitions. They have them bi-weekly, and you all have taken the advantage of that, and you're getting quite pumped and excited. Now, coming back to the Primaris from your sort of adventures and whatnot, Griffin Wyvar's there, drunk as par usual, just kind of awaiting until can saddle up on the quest to be and just enjoying themselves as they do in the bottle. And one of the figures which was approached and through the conversations was this character referred to as Roland. And Roland seems to have a quote unquote girlfriend or companion of some kind that works at the Salty Brine and has mentioned that they had endured a great large debt at House Fortune Favor, and that debt must be paid. And this, Roland thought it was a brilliant idea to enlist and enroll themselves to fight in the individual competition happening tomorrow. Now, from the persuasion and talking and inciting and throwing Roland up against the wall, hanging Roland upside down, bashing Roland about, one thing was clear, was that even if coin was offered to Roland, which was retracted by Ica, Roland would not leave the city. Roland fears for his life because even if he does not fight, that in itself is a problem. So he's in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. And that is where Roland finds himself and why he's been drinking himself to oblivion for a great number of days, if not weeks. So we're going to start off. We are kind of ended, wrapping it up a little bit with Roland. We're going to bring it back a little bit and retract and see if anybody wants anything to add with Roland this time. This character, because we kind of kept it a little bit right. Roland was going to get Cassie. Roland was going to get Cassie and then get out of there. Right. Roland was going to. Right.
We
that
left
was.
it to. We were gonna. He was gonna bet on himself to die, and then we were gonna. He agreed to try dying, and then we're gonna revive him and get him out of the city.
Yeah. So that was the plan. And so again, backtracking a little bit, if that is still the plan, that's where we're gonna start the conversation. So Roland at this point, so I'm gonna get some noise and audio figured for the city street here. I don't know about. You sure? Bring me back to life? I don't want to die. Oh, Kyler went off the net.
Well, you shouldn't have signed up to die then.
What? feel like it's the only way, but so I guess you'll bring me back. I'm to bet on myself to die.
I mean, that's what you already did, didn't you?
Yeah, but I mean, to be brought back. I mean, wouldn't they try to find me, or they see that I'm alive, and would that be a problem?
Well, I think technicality-wise, you did die in the arena, so I mean,
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want to be secretive about it, perhaps we can formulate some sort of plan to shuffle you out of here without them knowing.
how's Cassie feel about this plan?
Yes, he doesn't know.
Oh man, you're nailing this, man. You're just
Just gonna
out of
leave
the park.
a letter in the morning, and get good and drunk before it happens, and that was where I was gonna leave it. But I bet myself to die, and if you can bring me back, I guess it's just what needs to, it's the right way, and I can live, and debt will be paid. I won't have anything afterwards, though. I won't have any coin. I'll go towards my debt. If it doesn't work out, I guess it's paid either way.
My friends here are still stewards. Could probably set you up north.
Right, well, how long will I be dead for?
Semantics, man. We gotta worry about that later. Different.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works.
One step at a time, you know. Just
What do you mean you're not sure how it works?
well,
how the
only
fighting
one of
works,
us have
like,
actually. Two of
if
us have
you-
died.
if you die there, how long does it take for them to, like, bring your body somewhere where I can get to you?
I mean, they die and they bring them down into the staging area of the labyrinth, but it's usually in a cart, and they wrap them up, and they take them for burial eventually. Kind of just house them down there. It could be many minutes. I don't know. It takes a long time. Colosseum's very large.
Clearly.
Are you going to be in the audience, or will you be down in the labyrinth? They only let competitors down there.
Yep. Farah kind of looks a little nervous before looking around, but she's like,
Oh, man, maybe we should just hide and wait for us.
maybe I could, I could transform myself into small itty bitty creatures, but as far as the timing goes, usually what I do requires to be a little more expedient, but there's something I recently came into. Maybe it will work again.
Okay. Are you confident?
Do
It
we
worked
not
the
look
last
like we
time.
can handle this?
I guess I'm dead either way. Am I gonna owe you any further debt, or?
How about you just say you'll never come back and be betting wages here again?
No more gambling?
No more
You're right.
gambling.
I mean, I
I'll
would
be
have said the
done.
drinking thing, but you know.
I'll be done with all of that. All of the gambling. No more. Sure, Cassie and I have a good life. I'm gonna go see her now, if that's all right. It's our last night together, I guess. I'm brought back.
You got enough to see her?
What does that mean?
Look, man, those premium subscriptions, they add up, you know, that's all I gotta say.
Listen,
This is-
do you know of some place where we can meet afterwards? Perhaps get you out of the city?
Well, if any place, Salty Brine would be best. There's not a lot of eyes there, and if there are, usually the enforcers, the Denkash who help run the House Fortune and Favor, they don't tend to go over that way. They like
Alright.
staying near the Market Bazaar.
So I'll stick with you during your fight, and after you go down, then I'll stick with you some more, and I'll bring you back, and we'll meet up with the rest of the group at the Salty Brine.
Okay. All right. All right, that sounds good. I'm gonna go now. Can I go? Towards
I don't
Kyler.
give a shit. Get out. Fuck out of here.
He runs away.
I know where he's gonna go. I don't know why he's even asking.
Okay. Left on the south side of the Primaris. Door swung open. The rain falling down. Much horse traffic. Many people moving by. A lot of chatter out here. People still going about their business, even though it's late. The city, does sleep eventually, but there is a level of people always at work here, at business here. The virus is popping. People are enjoying themselves, having a good, beautiful time inside. And what do you all do?
Who's picking up my sword tomorrow before the single combat? I might need someone to pick that up.
Well, I think we're all going to be fighting, and then the single combat's right afterwards, isn't it?
I believe there's a little bit of time in between. Michael, I can't remember what they said.
There is time. It's similar to like a lunch break, if you will. So,
Okay, then maybe
Yeah.
I can do it then.
you're gonna have essentially first
Oh, I have to rest.
kind of like first light kind of thing, and then you'll be going through the group, and you most likely will be waiting, right? You all were kind of last to sign up for the group competition, so you're gonna be waiting a decent amount of time, and within the actual staging area potentially. And you can always show up later too, right? And be like, well, we're not gonna. You can always kind of leave and come back, I guess I should say, right
Yeah.
after kind of trying to figure out how much time it would be. One of the things is that there will be time for a short rest between the competitions, but there is
Which
no
I'm gonna
time.
need.
There is no time for a long rest. So you will go through the competition, and then you'll have that hour kind of break, if you will, and then that'll constitute that, and then they'll start bringing up the individual competition. There isn't much time between. You will be brought back into the staging area, into the area where most of the gladiatories, like humanoid gladiatorial individuals, will kind of sit. And there's food down there, and there's rest areas and sort of thing, and supplies as well, like blacksmiths down there in case like your weapon breaks, so you need to get a replacement weapon or something. That will not be accompanied by the rest of your group, though. So after the group competition is done, all of the groups have to actually leave the labyrinth. They have to get out, and they can come back in. You'll be handed like a voucher, if you will, and you'll be able to come into the Coliseum to observe the individuals free of admission. So you don't have to actually pay anything when you go and watch. So that leaves that you'll be on your own, Kyler, for the individual competition, and none of your party will be able to reach you at that point in a physical sense. And it is quite back to back because you're going from monsters, which is slightly slower, and then it's like weeded out, and you'll have very few individuals left after the monsters fight the humanoids, and then you'll basically be going up, fighting, going out and fighting. Thing.
It's been a couple weeks. I already dropped the sword off though, didn't I? Didn't I leave it with him?
Yeah, so you left the Bane of Erithune with the Master Smith after pledging, not even giving gold, but pledging that you would give some of the earnings to. They actually took that weapon and then left the Smith.
Yeah.
So they were headed to get it repaired potentially.
It's been a while, so that's why I was like, I'm pretty sure I don't have it. Okay.
Yeah, and then as far as picking up the weapon and going, you just said have it have it ready by the morning.
Yeah,
that's kind of what you specified, and then or at afternoon at the latest.
Yeah, so I plan personally on going in the morning real quick. First thing I do is go there to check.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll be at the arena afterwards. But
yeah, that's what I figured.
Hopefully, just in case there's a miracle, and they're like, oh yeah, this can last you the day. All right, well, did anybody eat dinner? All right, cool. I'm gonna leave.
Okay.
Hi, Kyler.
you headed?
I'm going back to my room.
Okay, so you're going back to the enticing weasel.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're heading east.
Mm-hmm.
What about the rest of you?
Yeah, it's already
Um,
getting late.
I'm gonna assume Marina and Tenzin went back to their room too after the being at the criminal syndicate place.
Denkosh.
Yes.
Rudikar?
Rudikar.
Yes.
I don't know. I
Thank you.
heard two different names that worked. Evil sounding.
Roland had mentioned that the enforcers and the people that actually run House Fortune in Favor have some sort of affiliation with Denkosh,
That's the last name I heard, so I just assumed it was them.
which name has yet to really be surmised what that is. The Rudikar is a thieves guild, so that's
Oh, yeah.
you had the conversation with Guildmaster Chow Razam, which had kind of put you to task in investigating. Full name? Okay. So you're just heading to your room.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, the only people who were staying at the Primaris at the time was Ica, Lysandra, and Brox. And you both, I don't think, were here
No, we weren't.
in the room. So I'd imagine you'd be following Kyler back to the enticing Weasel.
Yeah.
I would guess.
Okay. That's kind of where I would imagine you two both being, and also the only probably available rooms.
Yeah.
For it. So, okay. So, Rox and Sandra, you both headed up to your room at this point.
Probably.
So going in, we can do Theater of Mind. So just put it to the district map, trying to activate this a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and cue off the fact that we have horse carriages going on everywhere. So you go up into your room, waited on, food is there, ready, room service, if you will, right? Two servants ready for you at any time. Griffin Wyvar eventually, kind of gives you a little bit of a handshake, or kind of a little bit of a hand wave, I should say, and as you kind of go upstairs, and just kind of almost like kind of waves you off, right? Just kind of throws it and continues to go to the bottle. You're able to get yourself a beautiful meal, kind of a squab. It's been roasted to perfection, slight glaze, many different spring vegetables, plant life, and other sorts of things. Made into a salad, pickled, onions, that sort of thing. I mean, it's really high class. Many different types of beverages at your disposal that you wish to have. And we don't really need to go into the intricate details to it, but if you both want to role play with each other or do something, you can just interrupt me. But not much to the room, right? It's been kind of picked up and cleaned, so there's like room service. So they actually came in and made the bed and refit the table and made sure there was more probably like clean plates and clean glassware. They actually scrubbed down the tub in there, as well as unloaded the fixture as far as the toilet is concerned, and made sure there's more firewood there by the fire, and actually cleaned the windows off, scrubbed down the door handles, and they went through the room and made sure it was like cleaned, and that's just really surprising, I would imagine, since you only stayed there one night. But alas, it's nice, it's beautiful. You have your meal, have your drink, and as it winds down. Now, the enticing weasel. I don't. So for you, Gabe and Devin, you weren't here to see the particular establishment of what it is. So I'm actually going to be activating that scene, kind of showcasing it as well before I activate it, where particular on the map it is. So I'm going to go ahead and ping that. Enticing Weasel is on the far east side of this actual central part. So the particular map that you're on, this map is just the actual city's center that is kind of cohorts with the main population of business, bazaar, the docks, right? This is where everything kind of happens in the city. But there are a number of actual houses and manors, as well as common folk and housing and things and agriculture that surrounds the city. It's unwalled. It's free to really grow about itself. There is a council here. This council has the Elathan Council has numerous positions. One of them's like a city planner, city builder. So a lot of the actual housing, whereas with like Othema, the drift was like smashed together, and you had a very kind of LA style, where kind of these things were just coming together, and there was not really uniformity to it. And here you actually have streets. Many of them are cobbled. There's like sidewalks to them. And then the further you go out, the less organized it becomes, right? There's some more ruralness to it. The enticing weasel, as we get to that, as you make your trek on the main cobbled path, is quite wide, sidewalk lined, many window shops kind of pass by. The Rudikar, there's a temple over there. It's kind of a free worship. There's no real dedicated kind of deity to that temple or that church. You eventually make it kind of to the enticing weasel, and you get to see this large and expansive bridge that is there, and it crosses over the river. Without going into too much detail, this actual bridge has the capabilities. It's very arched, and it has capabilities as well of being kind of raised in a segment for boats and essentially river galleys to go through it. So there's a very elaborate kind of structure to the bridge, and it crosses over many, many dozens and dozens and dozens of feet. This river is massive in its width. It just spans, and it just goes cresting all the way across it, hundreds and hundreds. And I gave that description when you passed by Beholder, right? That's the same kind of river that's fed here. This is the Gorn River, so it's just downstream. It's still the same width. Now, the enticing weasel, I'm going to activate the map now. Use some sounds. Okay, so when you come in to this particular establishment, you're met with a two-story, very large structure, kind of rock wall with sand and interior of wood. I'm going to make it quick. I will go through the full description of the particular place. There's a slight entryway with wardrobe, mixture of different cloaks, backpacks that are hung, many different adventuring type kind of clothes, like attire and backpacks are hung here. The folk in here are common folk, adventurers, and travelers. Enticing Weasel is built for those that are actually staying and then potentially going into the docks, taking care of business, and leaving, or even taking the rest before going into the southern Gorn Valley across the bridge, right, heading into a particular other area of the Gorn Valley. Now, the tavern can seat a great number of individuals. There are singing aplenty, people drinking, food being tossed around. There's 6 to 8 servers that are running. There's a couple barkeeps. There's a kind of an owner that's making the rounds as well. Cooks in there. There's billiard tables. There's people playing pool. There's a whole back area that's covered. So there's outdoor seating, even with the rain that's kind of pouring down. And it's flanked on the north side of the structure by a large warehouse known as Akvar Construction, which actually is a warehouse. There's a field house there, a couple other structures. There's the stables up there. And then the second story primarily is fit with the same kind of room, these common rooms. And then, as Kyler would attest to, that they're relatively inexpensive. I'm not going to go into saying that I'm imagining that you would get a room here. We don't need to go through the steps of you procuring a room. The rooms themselves, given the night's stay and the amount of coin that Kyler had actually laid down at the time, I will go ahead and say that counts towards the kind of purchasing of your room for however stay you're going to be in Lathan, based on Kyler put down. I think it was like
You're welcome.
3 days or something
Thank you
like
very
that.
much.
So that's totally fine. Food you're going to get here is going to be there's not variety to it, but it's going to be decent. It's going to be a roast, something hearty, potatoes, and meat, maybe fish even as well. That's like roasted and can be salted and certain things fried off and stuffed. Full
It's
of
what
all
you
other
need
sorts of
before a day of battling, you know? That's what
really
matters
it.
most.
That's really it.
Can you
This
see
crazy
the ocean from this inn?
No.
We're at the very entrance of the town.
So Elathan is built right where the dock is lower and then the rest of the city's higher and higher up, right? You have very like a San Fran type vibe. Here inside of the tavern, there's too many buildings flanking to the west to be able to actually see anything, because these buildings will range from 2 to 3 stories. And the tavern's only 2 stories, and it's large itself. You might be able to see over some of the rooftops the actual bay, and then further maybe the ocean, but not really the boats and the dock per se. Now, when you go out to the road, though, the road is really a straight shot, and that you can actually see. Now you don't have any buildings really blocking your view, and you can really go gradual, and that becomes steep, and that drop and that descent down to the merchant's quarter, further into that. And so you have the sight of the ocean, you have the sight of the bay. Does that make sense?
Yep. So Marina and Tenzin have stayed at an inn in Olathe before. Do you think that would have been this inn?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep. That's why I was like, oh, you'd probably be here. So the actual, barkeep here that you know of, at least the owner, there's a couple different barkeeps you've talked to, but the owner itself is named Bardum Mohra. It's a really hard name.
Obamba.
Mohra.
Close enough.
So, Bardum is a human. Not much to. I mean, definitely someone that has a bit of sailor in their background, their story. Used a lot of coin to kind of not purchase the tavern, but Family Mora has actually owned this establishment for a number of years and has had many children. And it was used to be owned by halflings prior, and so, but Barnum has 6 brothers and sisters, so they all kind of went off to do their own things within Olathe. Some working down the upper dock for the Talthar Navy, others went business side, the lower docks, and so you have a little bit probably of Bardum's backstory, but yeah, so you probably most likely have stayed here, and indeed you have stayed here prior to. Is there anything that you both would like to do kind of coming into the Enticing Weasel before you head up into your rooms?
I'm just gonna, since I see Kyler just at the bar, I'm just gonna walk up to him before I head up and just give him a firm slap on the back and, no pressure, buddy. Literally everything's running on you. Eat a lot of meat.
Thanks, bud.
You know, I'm really not worried. I think you'll kick all their asses.
Yeah, I perform best under pressure.
Perfect. I also heard that from an old gladiator friend of mine, that loading up on a lot of bread, just eating a whole lot of bread before going into the arena really helps.
That sounds terrible.
Eat a whole lot of bread. Grains, anything of that sort.
Huh, alright.
Also,
Good to know.
carbo loading or something. I don't know what that means. Apparently, it helps.
Such an asshole, dude. I was thinking about that like 10 minutes ago. I'm like, I bet Kyler would carbo load before. You get me, Tenzin. You get me.
Anything to give you an edge.
You know it.
Yours pretty good, if I remember correctly.
Hell was that?
Old drunk number 1.
Yeah, I was like, damn, okay. This dude going off.
Here's Innkeeper 1.
Keeper 1, what a guy.
What a guy.
I'll leave my axe at the door, boy. It stays on my back at all times.
Honestly, these really fit the vibe. All the sound lines in this
Yeah.
this epics really fit the vibe for the enticing weasel. Sure.
Too bad not everybody was here. All right, well, I guess we should get to bed. We gotta.
Plenty of rest, plenty of bread.
Motherfucker fell down the stairs.
It's a table flip. Table flip.
Table flip. Just. Yeah. All right. I guess I'll go to sleep and wake up nice and early so I can get to the blacksmith.
Beware, though, the bacon's always burnt.
Oh,
You guys can join me if you want.
A
I
little
don't know.
crispy.
Just gotta make sure I get the Bane Berry thing tomorrow.
Specifically remember you complaining about the bacon being crispy.
My tastes have changed. No, I've died since then. It can really scramble your brain, you know?
All of a sudden, I'm left-handed. I don't know what happened, man. Shit's weird.
Oh shit.
What?
Don't we still owe these people money?
Yep, I'm leaving. Going to bed. I hear that. I'm going to bed.
Listen,
It's been like a few years. I'm sure they don't remember.
Yeah, because you two don't stand out.
Not at all.
it's fine. We'll have hundreds of thousands of gold by tomorrow anyway. We can pay back our tab tenfold. We can buy up their entire stock of bacon.
Sounds good to me.
Anyway. Kyler needs his rest. And I will
Yep.
ensure
We're
that he
all
gets his
fine
rest. I
tomorrow.
will ensure that he's in tip-top shape for tomorrow.
Do you want Tenzin to come tuck you in?
Tenzin needs to sit in my back while I do push-ups.
All right. Anything to help the cause.
Do you need Tenzin to read you a bedtime story? He's
No.
pretty good
Straight.
at that.
He needs
The Bard
you
and the
know,
Dragon, a classic.
a little bit of a personal trainer, you know? Someone to help push him to his limit while he's training, while he's preparing. Someone to spot him while he lifts a bunch of weights.
Marina, I need you to be my bench press. Just
I can do that.
Tenzin will fucking spot me. I'll just bench press you. We're going for reps, not weight. You know what I mean?
We don't want him to get too sore tomorrow.
You guys may be ready too, man. Bring your A game. Hit your
We're
shots.
always on our A game. We need to make sure you're on your double A game, your triple A game.
Your A+ game.
Kyler's anxiety and stress is going up every single minute they keep talking. He's not going to show him.
So I've been meal prepping for you for the past.
You got just
Eat your
protein
fucking chicken and
shakes,
broccoli, Kyler.
protein powder.
Yep.
Gotta get that creatine.
Creatine, yep. You got the creatine.
I told you
Now,
I was on
Alchemist
keto,
named
bro.
Whey.
Kyler's already
That's
said he's
powder that'll
doing
really
intermittent
help you.
fasting, so he skips breakfast and he's
Breakfast. I told you I was on keto, bro. Paleo only. Tenzin, jeez.
if I eat
carb
carbs
loading.
now, my stomach's gonna be a mess tomorrow.
So as you all proceed upstairs, so Kyler, you have kind of a common room again. It's decent furnishings. It's not horrible, right? You both can fit in a common room just fine with the size mattress that's in there, as well as
Fuck yeah, Tenzin.
the blankets. It's just kind of they're not wool cloth, itchy. Have a chest for some storage. You might have a little kind of wardrobe there, some hanger and shelving and whatnot. It's a common bathroom. There's no real way to. There's no bathtubs really, right? There's a common bathing kind of bathtub kind of area, and the common as you make your way upstairs, and eventually you find the room you have, and independent keys, right? So you have your own kind of thing, numbers hanging upon the doors there, and wrought iron handles. So hey, it's not horrible. It's not like it's all
No, man.
ran down. Yeah. So
It actually fits our party a lot more than people would think. It's good enough.
Yeah, it's not a poor like a it's a traveler's tavern. They make a lot of coin here, right? Adventurers
got
and
a
travelers have a
Western
decent
over
amount of coin. So you all find yourselves getting ready for the night's end, and you begin to kind of take your rest here, and so we can go ahead and we'll shortcut unless anybody would like to do anything. Looks like Sage, you're joining us here. So Sage, I just
Hi.
anticipated that we finished the
Sage.
conversation with Roland. Roland seems as though we're going to allow Roland to die, and then we are going to revive Roland, and then we're going to meet up at the Salty Brine with Roland to ensure that Roland is safe and all that. So that's the plan. Anyways, to
What a good
fulfill
plan.
the debt being paid, as they put a bet and wager on their own life. Now, I'm just assuming here, since that you're in your room, right, at the Permyrus, it is
Yeah.
paid. You had your servers there. They offered to get you food, right, dine in and service and whatnot. For you, it's a communal eating area, but it's private upstairs, right? You have kind of this squab and get kind of food and different variety of things. They do not offer to bathe you, right? Since you had
Good.
said no before, so they have remembered. And your room is clean. They've actually cleaned your tub. They've changed the sheets. They have scrubbed down the handles and the windows and things. Everything is clean when you actually got there. And they made your bed and everything. It is quite exquisite in the commodities that they provide.
Very nice.
So again, if anybody just interrupt me, I always say if through the fast tracking process, if you want to do anything or anything kind of comes up, just interrupt me as we go through. But we are going to bed down and then go through the long rest here.
You guys ready? That tingle in your balls? This is it.
It's all or nothing.
Big day.
That was the most Kyler saying ever. Oh, and I did leave a will with Michael, just in case Kyler does die. So,
Oh my god.
yeah, Michael remembers.
He did.
There's a will.
There is a will.
Joey
so just-
Joey asked me out of character, what is the likely outcome of me dying? And after that conversation, he created the
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Man, I need to write Ico a will.
Yeah, you motherfuckers messed up. You don't have a will, so.
For what
Oh.
he
I, need
inherits when he
I
comes
think I
back
need
as
to
a
write
kobold.
Ico a will just because he gets close to dying almost every time we fight.
I mean, you have
Yeah.
that.
Or-
That's the
or
thing.
does die,
Yeah, you
yeah.
have that. So, I mean, you're at that point where you should have had that in order.
Yeah.
Give it all to Linus.
Give it all. It all goes to Linus.
That doesn't make any sense. I don't care.
Find Linus. Find new Linus.
You have to find
reincarnate him.
someone named Linus. Go to
Find a
Eat
guy
Shitty.
named a random guy named Linus.
Yeah. Like, is your fucking name Linus? Yeah. All right, here you go. You get all this random shit.
We
Okay.
got this, probably.
So you
35%
arise.
chance.
You arise for the morning. I do want to emphasize the group competition is a 3-round competition facing 3 monsters. Okay. Whoever
yeah.
defeats the monsters fastest takes the grand prize of 10,000 gold pieces. Okay, but you want placed a bet of 4,000 gold pieces to that. The odds of the particular bet here, so we'll just go through again to make sure that we kind of understand. So the odds there
Is
is
it-
simply 2 to 1.
Is
2 to
it
1.
combined fastest for each round, or is it like last round fastest?
They time you per the round.
Per-
Per round, and it's going to be probably a total, would be my assumption. It's just whoever
Essentially,
finishes the rounds quickest.
it's kind of, you're all facing the same monster. So this is how elaborate that this is. That they actually get the same monster for each group.
I mean, logistically
So
speaking,
just to
it seems like a
understand-
headache, but
The amount of coin that this place and the amount of people that are invested into this to be able to fetch potential creatures of a variety of like that is intimidating. And so one of the things and one of the concepts with just the game in general goes back all the way to session 0 when you asked about ability scores, being like, oh, these ability scores are really high. Well, there are, because there are individuals that have the same ability scores and the same levels of certain things, right? The classes. So there are people out in the world that are adventurers, travelers, and as well as Lenista Coolrez, right? Kind of matching you up in a way, knowing potentially your weaknesses and things, just being around you. So, 2-1, 4K on the group was the bet placed, and then solo was 5-1. And the bets placed was an absolute shit ton of coin. We had 10K, 15K, 2,500, 10K. I mean, the bets were just going all over the place.
I
That
think
is
I
gonna
put
be,
literally all my money.
a massive payout. Now,
You
the
know
solo
what?
competition.
I'm really glad that Marina wasn't allowed inside now, because she couldn't bet any of her money. And so if you all fucking lose, I'll be the most rich person in the party.
I've bet your money
is
on her.
true.
I
Bro.
bet on the team a little bit.
Yeah, I
just-
bet almost all my money on Kyler. It's
Yeah.
all gone.
Yeah, I'm surprised
No
that you
pressure.
bet on Kyler, not the group, but we'll see. So a 6 round.
Look, when you
so
hear
this-
5-1 versus 2-1, you're gonna take those chances all
you
day.
gotta take those odds. So the solo competition is a 6-round competition facing 2 rounds of monsters, then 4 rounds of gladiators. Whomever is last to stand takes the grand prize of 20,000. The monsters, based on what Coolrest had stated, were purely a trial phase out. They
Yeah.
will be using the same monster potentially, and they will be going through gladiators to essentially kill them, to funnel and weed out who actually can survive enough to be the grand champion of this Coliseum for this particular turn. Okay, so Kyler, you have a little bit of I would say I don't know if it's an advantage, but you actually are going to come in because you enlisted relatively late. You actually will come in late, so you have the potential of more rest time, and you also will
Yep.
kind of funnel through individuals and get to see potentially competition and whatnot, kind of going up
Play
and down.
the
up and
system,
down.
baby.
So you have an idea. Okay. So just want to lay out those things there. So just because we went through that and make sure everyone's kind of on the same page with it. And as you arise in the morning, roughly 6:30 a.m., I'd probably call it probably a good time that you all are kind of rising now. We have 2 different taverns we're staying at here, so I just have a little ambiance of rain on roof. That's pretty much what both of you are hearing when you all awake. But there are a number of wagons, stagecoaches, people on the roads themselves, heading towards the Colosseum. They are attempting to get themselves a fine parking spot and get themselves nice seating. Most of the seating inside of the Colosseum is first come, first serve. You buy your admission, you go in. The bazaar, free to park. Just park your stagecoach wherever and you go. So
Free
that
parking
is
really
why
hard to find these days.
they're all showing up really early, right? This is kind of a little bit of realistic scenario in a way, right? Get there first kind of thing. Now, there are boxes. There's individuals that pay large quantities of coin. Most of the people that stay in the boxes are those who fundraise and sponsor the fighters. So you have House Coolrez. You might have another house, such as House Orillo. Right, so you have people that actually sponsor potential fighters or gladiators.
Yo, where House
And
Iridor at though?
those get to stay in. So potentially House Iridor. I don't know. It's up to you. Now, as we see this outside, you and the Primaris, you're brought breakfast. So people will eventually, when you arise, there's actual servants outside of your rooms, kind of awaiting on you awakening, and then can offer you a very hearty, beautiful breakfast, something not too heavy, albeit. And then the Tyson Weasel, as you come down, there's a great number of folks that are drunk. They've smashed themselves the night before in anticipation for the event. Bardem is currently taking a broom and smacking them in the head, trying to waken them up and get them out of the actual tavern since they're not paying patrons. As many individuals that are coming into the actual city here to see the Colosseum are stopping very quickly to procure food, like lunches and other sorts of things. They want to get food and they want to get it cheap. And so Bardem has prepared for this all night long, very tired, dark circles, all the servers and cooks as well, as they're beginning to hand out loaves of bread, dried meats, cheeses, other sorts of things in small clay jars and whatnot. And they're exchanging coin directly at the bar, at the tables. The servers are handing it out from other tables and stuff. So there isn't really anybody sitting down per se, But as you both come down, you get sat maybe at the bar or table yourselves. Server eventually makes their way to you, takes your order, is able to give you eggs, bacon, sausage, specifically cooked because it
Protein,
is
baby.
the Coliseum event today, and so they want to make sure there is breakfast that is served that's adequate for all people that would come. And so it's a mixture of different foods that you can potentially get here. Price-wise, for the particular food, it is simply a flat silver piece for the meal, and it definitely is a large, hearty, and heavy meal that they can provide you. So you're getting well fed, you're getting undertaken, and then you all have your own ways at this stage. So what are you all? Are you grouping back up at the Prim Iris here, or are you all heading
Go to blacksmith.
heading to the blacksmith? So Kyler's going directly to the blacksmith. I guess I should ask then Tenzin and Marina, what are you both doing?
Meeting up with the rest of the party.
Yeah.
Man, I invited you guys to come with me, and you're just dodging me like that. Wow.
You know what?
Oh, you want us to go?
We'll go to
I
the
asked you guys
blacksmith
last
with-
night. I was like, you guys gonna join me? Nobody answered.
Oh
So
yeah,
you-
yeah. Sure.
Let's
go.
Let's go. Let's
I don't
go.
hate you guys.
So you three
Do
are
this.
heading to the
We'll spend
blacksmith.
your last hours with you, Kyler.
So I mean, okay, yeah, that's
Don't
fine.
say that.
No, I'm cool with that. I'm ready for death.
And then those at the Primaris, we'll start with Ica.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get up and probably meet is Ferox and Ferox
Sandra.
and- yeah, are they here?
Yeah, they're staying in the suite.
Okay, I'll meet up with them and
Okay.
probably just see where they want to go from here.
But Ferox, Sandra, where do you
Yeah.
want to go from here?
Probably just breakfast and meet up with Aika to head to the bazaar.
That's good to me.
Okay.
Oh, this
You'll
is it.
probably kind of relish a little bit, enjoy the time. I would imagine. No rush. For you at the Taisu Wings, I'll probably say it's kind of a rush, right? You're pretty quick to want to get to the blacksmith and whatnot. So I'm just going to advance the time clock a little bit, but I'm going to cue some audio. So, rain is coming down strong and heavy. You are right on a large bay. Rain is just flying. The wind is coming into your face. Begin to head in the direction.
It's what?
The wind is flying into your face, smacking you. The wind. Enjoy it. We'll be doing the
You
windows.
put it up
here.
on a T for me. I had to.
Oh, you had to. I know you did. So you begin to head to Master Torvin's smithy over by the Talthar base. You pass by the bazaar, not really going in at this point. There's a great number of traffic. Individuals are waiting. The road is becoming backed up. You and the Primaris are seeing this. Carriages and stagecoaches are all getting kind of pushed and moved back. Now, one of the things that Kularas had stated was that there's actually, you don't enter in with everyone else. You're not going to be going into the bazaar and then into the main entrance of the Colosseum on the east side. You're actually going to be hooking all the way around and coming in from the northwest. That's where they enter into the actual, there's an entrance into the labyrinth, as well as a staging kind of outdoor area there, large canopies, tents, cages, supplies, manacles, chains, things of actual travelers or eventually adventurers that work for the Colosseum, fetching the monsters and stuff, that they make their little encampments there. And they don't particularly stay at a tavern, right? They'll have a little area that they have that they can pitch their tent, they can earn their coin, and then they can enter into the labyrinth going back and forth and making sure the monsters get to where they need to go. Now, that actually has a wall. Remember, there's a wall going around the bazaar. That, for the entrance into the grounds there's actually a gate. So there's a double wooden door that's barred, and then potentially people up top on the wall that will be there now that the Coliseum is actually functioning. This is similar to an event that maybe happens in real life, right? You have more security, more individuals, and sure enough, as you pass by that particular segment, you three, headed to the smithy, you can see that there are House Kulrez guard that are currently positioned with their bows at the ready, that are currently kind of eyeing people that are making their way along the street. Individuals are talking, oh, we can park, it's fine, we'll park over here. No, we can't park over there, dear. That is gonna take forever to walk over there.
Your skills are terrible. I know
And
you can't do it.
It's like couples are arguing
Yeah.
and bittering with each other. They head into the stables. Now, this is kind of makes sense. As one of the objects that I've listed is the stables, which is just to the right side across the large main cobbled pathway that leads north into the nobles kind of area that's opposite of the Grand Library. There's massive, large stables. That is why it's positioned there. It's also to funnel in some individuals that are attempting to park from the actual Coliseum. They have signs already pitched up that they're full. They can't take any more livestock, more horses, and more stagecoaches and wagons and things. They're already parked up. Adjacent to that, to the east side, there is a park. So it has this kind of dirt and slight cobbled pathway. There's fountains and other sorts of things. This is what these deciduous trees and these kind of mark here is like a park that's built up on the northern side of that road. Individuals are taking the opportunity just to park in it. So now it's being filtered in, and there is this whole craziness is happening. Doesn't seem like there's any sort of like guard from the Emberock, which are those mercenaries or hired, the Adventurers Guild that are hired out to work as guard. You don't see a great number of them. There are small patrols, but they're not really enforcing trying to like park people. They're just letting them really go wherever they want at this stage. So eventually get to Master Torvin's smithy. You can hear inside the sounds of a familiar individual. The door itself is swung open. You can see that Master Grig Torvin is currently standing kind of facing the door, roughly 15 feet inside of the shop area. At the backdrop is the counter that I've described before. You can see something's wrapped up in a kind of a thing, like a piece of cloth that resembles the actual size of the Great Sword of the Dane of Erithune. Now, Master Grig Torvin is a gruff and stout human. The individual that's currently in front, as you walk and see the entrance, is none other than Brugha.
Oh dear God, please no. Not anything but Brugha.
So you could proceed inside.
Oh. Never mind.
Hello?
We're coming back. You back?
Welcome back.
How much did you hear?
What do you mean? I heard the whole thing.
Okay, cool.
At the entrance, like it literally just
Awesome.
happened.
You
Yeah.
proceed in through the door. You see
That'd be
Master
strutting
Grig
in.
Torvin sees you, kind of moves past you, kind of shuts the door behind you a little bit. Slight wind on the outside, rain
Oh.
on the rooftop. Nobody's hammering, no actual apprentices or anybody's here yet. Master Grig does work with individuals, and Brugha turns around, looks towards you all. Oh, hello! Well.
Why are
Morning,
you so
Brugha.
obnoxious?
Hey,
Looks towards you,
how you
Tenzin.
doing?
Hello, how are you?
Yeah.
He's got the fuck me eyes, Tenzin. Careful.
Tongue still blue.
You'll all be wondering why I'm here, I'm sure.
No,
Here to watch or whatever.
I put a sword here that was pretty magical. I'm
Oh
assuming
wait,
you're
we're at the
involved.
we're at the blacksmith, not
At the
the.
blacksmith. You're at the blacksmith.
Listen.
I wasn't here for. Or I wasn't there originally at the shop, but I'm assuming that you're here to help with the sword.
That I am. Master Grig
Yeah.
has told me what your predicament is, and I have used my expert magical skills to fix your sword.
Like, permanently or just temporarily?
It is permanently fixed.
Can I see it?
Wait, you're helping us?
Why wouldn't I help you? Is there a
Think you'd help us
reason
for
I
free.
should know about? Well, this isn't for free. Your friend here, what's your name? Looks towards Kyler.
Kyler Iridor?
Well, you has put up quite a large pledge of gold for this very weapon. and Master Grigg had told me, and I have foreseen this will come true. Albeit, perhaps without a hand or an arm, maybe a leg. I couldn't exactly tell. Anyways, funnels over, grabs the thing, cloth with the sword in it from the counter, pushes past. Master Grigg just looks and stares, and you see as the mouth is slightly agape, the tongue is blue.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's happening again. It's happening
Looks-
again.
It's an
Looks towards you,
epidemic.
Tezzin, roughly, as you begin to talk, sees your tongue and stares at you. For a moment, there is a slight familiarity and a friendship, a bond that just spans across
They're blue brothers.
so many different things.
I know what you've been going through.
Doesn't say anything, Master Greg. Bruga
Yeah.
raises the sword up to you, Kyler.
All right, I'm gonna inspect it and let me see how it looks.
As you begin to pull it out, it resembles the exact same sword. There is no forge marks. There is
But if I-
no resmelting to this particular weapon.
If I pull it out, does it still make that really high pitched
It
noise?
Still
Fuck
whistles
yeah.
as it ears out.
We're back, baby.
It seems that the weapon is full and itself once more. Looks towards you, Kyler. There was one thing that I had asked about, but Master Grigg was not sure of that you would actually do.
Oh. What?
Well, your
No, I'm-
friend sidesteps and looks towards Tenzin. Your friend knows.
What?
Kyler, get the hell out of here. Kyler,
Wait,
just
what?
go. Kyler, just go.
No.
You
Wait,
paid
You
for it.
need a
Just pay for it.
real quick pluck of your hair and perhaps just a small taste of your lips.
Kyler, Kyler, just go. Go.
But the gold will work. I'm
Oh,
sure.
gold to work? All right, cool. Yeah. No, I'm about to win this solo competition and the group competition. Gold's gonna work for sure.
Yeah, but gold will be
I'm-
fine.
Yeah, gold will be
I'm
fine.
surprised you don't want to
All right,
Kyler
who are you
clone
again?
running
Sorry, I can't
around.
remember.
My name is Bruga. Your friends know me very well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't go there.
I know you didn't, and I wish you did.
Oh. Yeah, the Iridor lineage has that effect on people. Yeah, the gold will work, right?
It will work. Indeed.
Out of character, how much was it again? 40,000 gold?
You
for the
40,000 gold pieces. Correct.
40,000. That's what I thought. Yeah.
That's what I have it written down.
Yep. That's that's memory, baby. It's been 2 weeks, but I remember 40 G's. That's easy.
I think it was
Um,
supposed to be more, and you talked him down.
I did. Yeah. I was like, with this, I'll fuck them up, and I'll get you your gold.
Yes, you will. But I do
And
hope
then, you
that
know,
you would
I
let
think,
me.
as a tip, I'll give you a little bit of hair. So I'm gonna cut just a little bit of hair off for as a tip, as a thing.
Snatches it, these large hair, fingernails and fingers, and grabs it, pockets
could
it
go
into
wrong?
a small-looking pouch as it disappears into the pouch. Thank you very much. Well,
Thank you.
you all please have a fine morning. I will be in the stands, and we will see what happens.
Fantastic. I'm gonna kill a lot of motherfuckers with this shit.
Want to make a little bit more money? Bet on this guy right here.
Did you just
I
pee?
do want to state one thing to you, Kyler.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would be wary of your left shin area. I'm not quite sure, but I believe something might happen. Anyways, bye-bye! Flicks the fingers and teleports.
Oh wait, I don't like that.
I'm gonna look at my left shin.
Looks fine.
Did I
Looks
become
normal.
Did I become Achilles? Am I in trouble?
Just cover that up.
Tenzin,
Wear
Marina,
pants.
can you guys just make sure nothing happens to my left shin?
I will guard your left shin with my life,
Well,
Kyler.
I don't think you
Thank you.
can while he's in the ring. I think
Well,
it's against the
that's single combat, but I mean group, just maybe.
In group combat, I will guide.
What
I
does
will
that
guard your
mean?
shin with my
What was
life.
that? What's happening?
Yeah, I really hope the fact that she has both of our hairs doesn't come to bite us in the ass.
Wait,
Sure,
she has
they'll
your
never
hair
come
too?
up again.
And she has my hair too. And I'm gonna show Kyler my tongue. And she does this to me.
Oh. That was the hair thing, or was that something else?
I don't want to talk about it. Let's just go.
Oh, you went
She
down
did
on her,
s-
didn't you? Come on, man.
She it's a citywide problem.
The epidemic.
They're everywhere.
Bro,
I didn't go down on
Oh,
her.
bro,
Okay.
you gotta vet the chicks. You gotta be safe out here. When you're a tourist, you can't just plunge. You can't plunge straight in. You know, you gotta.
He got me a pretty sick discount on some boots, though.
I think I'm gonna die, guys. The left shin thing. I mean,
Tyler.
that's not a good
Tyler.
thing to hear
It's
on
your
the day of
shin.
your
I've
fight.
got the tongue thing.
You're not
Yeah.
gonna die. If you were gonna die, I'm pretty sure she would have mentioned that and not just your left shin. And
Well,
Bruga aside, you're still not gonna die.
okay.
Come on.
If I do die, make sure nobody revives me. If I die in the
Wait,
heat of
why?
battle, that's a great way to go. That is an honorable and warrior's death. You take that.
You can have the honorable warrior's death in 30 years or so.
No. Heart failure and liver failure is not a way to die. Someone
Well-
putting their great axe into your head is a way to go.
Listen, when you're old, I will have Tenzin come and fight you, and
We're gonna
kill you
both be
if you want him
geriatric
to,
old
so,
men.
Wait, Tenzin's a
It's
human,
just-
right? If I recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a half elf. No, Tenzin, you're not gonna
Oh,
take me.
okay, that's fair.
You're not gonna take me.
I just need to, meditate a little bit more. Get a
Maybe
little
if I give
stronger
you
in
some
my
prescription
arts, and then I
pills
stop
for your hip,
aging,
maybe you
know.
can take me.
In a few levels, I'll just stop aging.
That's true, actually. Yeah. All right. Well, look out for Tenzin in like I don't know, 90 plus years. Maybe then I'll be worried.
But
Well, my left
regardless,
shin.
you've
This
dealt
is-
with a lot worse than this.
Is this
right?
a psychological
I mean,
thing? I'm not smart enough to know if that's a psychological thing. Anyway, you guys ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, cool. To the bazaar. I'm gonna fucking die. My left shin's gonna get hit. I'm gonna lose my leg. Fuck you, Michael. You're
I
gonna
took an
kill
arrow
me.
to the shin.
We're
All
gonna
of a
get
sudden,
you.
I'm gonna
Maybe we
be
should get
fighting
you, like, a
Paris, and
a
then I'm
nice
gonna get
shin
shot in the
guard
fucking left
before-
shin.
before
Ah!
I think that's a good idea. Yeah.
Achilles is going down tonight.
You're wearing armor, right? Your shin's covered.
That's the thing. I don't know. The back of my left shin, not really. You don't wear full plate over your whole entire body. It's the front.
What if we wrap your shin in like bubble wrap?
I don't want to overthink it. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna
I'm
keep
sure
going.
it'll be fine.
No, I'm just gonna keep going as if everything's normal. We fought 2 dragons. We fought a bunch of weird motherfuckers. I'm cool with this. If I die, I die. If I lose my leg, I lose my fucking
At
leg.
least your tongue's still its normal color.
Yeah, actually, I do got you on that one. Look at Tenzin and go.
Kyler,
Just a kiss. I didn't.
real talk. If you die, do you really not want to be brought back?
Absolutely not.
But only if it's like a good death, right? Like if you trip and hit your head on the rock, you don't want to be brought
Death
back.
in battle is the most honorable way to go out.
Okay, I mean,
If I
I
died
do
to like,
respect it.
accidentally slipping down a cliff, that's not really like, an honorable way to die. But, fighting a dragon, fighting a man in the arena, it's all the same to me. If I die, I die.
I guess we'll respect your wishes, even though they're fucking stupid.
They're not stupid. I gotta be real. Stupid and honor do coincide with each other, but it's the Iridor family way.
Good thing you're
He's
asking.
not
me.
gonna die. It's gonna be fine.
He's not gonna die.
He's not gonna
He's
die.
not gonna
They didn't
die.
get me started on the 6 brothers that had died to the wolves in our Iridor initiation.
Oh, jeez.
Well, you had
You know-
6 dead brothers.
Yeah, no more, but
Oh.
the females get killed off pretty quickly. But yeah, the brothers though, we're strong. I have a lot of brothers. So. You just
That's
mentioned my
good,
name. If you
man.
guys ever go to Baldur and I die, you guys will be good. Don't worry, they'll take care of you.
Good point. Hey, you got like a will or anything?
Absolutely.
So,
You'll read it when I die.
do you have stuff
If-
about like
I die.
if do you have stuff about like how what you want done with your body and shit?
You'll read it when it happens.
We're not supposed to read
it's
it
not
while
gonna
he's
happen.
alive.
We're
It's
not
not gonna
putting
happen.
that negative energy.
No,
in
we're
our
not.
lives.
We're gonna
It's
win.
positivity.
You're gonna win, and we're gonna be so fucking rich.
Who knows? I might be
It's
swallowed by a
so
fucking
rich.
Tarrasque. I don't fucking know what's gonna happen.
We're gonna be so fucking rich, Kyler.
Don't even stress.
We're not. No one's stressed. We're
You know
good.
what?
It's chill vibes. It's
You
a
know,
good
as my
time.
wife says,
As she drinks
Don't
her
even
entire
trip,
glass.
chocolate chip.
Your wife is adorable.
She's even before we started dating, my wife is always don't trip, chocolate chip.
That is so cute.
So canonically, Michael, now it's on the books. Kyler has a wife.
Wait, you're married? What? It's when?
You remember that hag a few sessions ago?
That was a wedding?
Don't even trip, chocolate chip.
I know you have a kid, but man, there's a lot I don't know about you.
Again, that's a tax write-off, kid. This one didn't even know about. We're at the bazaar. I don't know.
Okay.
We're walking. We're talking. We're
Yeah,
shooting the shit.
I'm just letting you role play. I mean, there's not really.
I'm totally gonna die now.
No reason to cut
Everyone
you
else,
off.
like, for once, everyone's like, "Hey, Kyler, what's up with you?" And I'm like talking. I'm like, I'm wary of the left shin. I'm gonna fucking die. I'm gonna
long as
pop
you
out
don't
of a
say you're gonna
Trojan's horse. And
retire,
I'm gonna get fucking shot in the leg.
Okay, so I'm just going to probably imagine that you all are coming relatively right at the same time. I'm not gonna try to piece together you all coming separately and whatnot. So this, what I'm gonna be doing here is giving you a description. So we're gonna be doing kind of theater of mind of the actual staging area in the labyrinth. Given that there's no need particularly to make a map for it, as there's no combat really being held on it, and it is quite extensive in really what it is. So for the sake of time and whatnot, that's why we were going to be moving to theater of mind here, so we can really create the freedom and creativity in our heads. Second, I'm going to try to find notes for it here. So I'm going to give a description of the Colosseum. The grand entrance of the Colosseum, which is the main entrance, is 80 feet wide and 60 feet tall. Semi-arched sandstone entry that goes directly to a sandstone staircase that ascends to a landing before dividing into two staircases ascending north and south to a sandstone walkway that wraps around the entire Colosseum. In this large tunnel-like corridor before reaching the staircases, there are sandstone kind of booths that are built in, these like podiums, if you will, kind of halfway fencing, bringing people into channels. This is very similar to going to a Colosseum in real life, right? You're having to get funneled through these booth type. There's individuals that are there dressed in the house Coolores colors, showcasing the gold and the blacks and the reds and the greens, some of these intricacies. They're beautifully dressed in silk. There's also representatives of House Fortune and Favor there. So individuals that you've seen, some enforcers. There's also Emberock adventurers that have been hired on to help out, as well as House Coolores Guard. There is a numerous amount as far as the width and the lines that are being formed, just piling of people, right? Funneling and getting held up before they can actually proceed in to the massive staircase, to the landing, and then they can take the staircases up to that walkway. Now, from the walkway, right? You can go down or you can go up. The grandstands wraps around the entire thing, and it's built out of sandstone, held and supported by wooden pylons. So, and the grandstands themselves ascend to about 130 feet, and before reaching a solid sandstone wall reinforced with those wooden pylons and anchor points for the hollowed core wood and canopy cover that goes over the entirety of the grandstands. Small sandstone staircases at intervals of 30 or so feet either ascend or descend from the central walkway for people to make way into the rows to sit on the sandstone stands. Supporting the arena are sandstone pillars, archways, solid sandstone, and wooden beams. So the entire structure itself is not necessarily floating. There are actual sandstone pillars and columns protruding, but the wooden pylons assist it to make it lighter and not use too much material. And the canopy that hangs overhead is purely for the actual grandstands. The canopy does not extend over the sand field, the actual battlefield that will be taking place with all of you in it. The arena is filled with loose and coarse sand. 2 ramparts with portcullis descend from slightly north and south positions from the arena's lower wall. They delve into the arena's labyrinth, a multitude of tunnels that eventually funnel together to the labyrinth's entrance at the northwest side of the arena. To note, there are small sandstone podium-like platforms containing representatives of House Kulrez and House Guard to ensure anyone participating in the event's pay. Alternative entrances to private boxes exist to the north and south of the arena through elaborate sandstone to wooden staircases ascending in range of 80 to 150 feet. These boxes contain tables, chairs, couches, lounge chairs, wine, ale, cheese, bread, and other items to complete a high class of accommodations. Each of these boxes are relatively the same and extend forward across the grandstands to provide adequate viewing. They are supported by solid wooden beams or sandstone pillars and contain open-walled balconies on the arena-facing sides. They wrap around pretty much the entirety. Now, imagine, if you will, that the boxes themselves are spaced. And so you still have grandstands going in between the boxes, and you can get up to the nosebleeds, if you will. The boxes themselves, if the grandstands reach up about 130 feet, the boxes will reach a height of roughly 90 feet or so. And they do range at certain times. So some are lower and some are higher, and that creates a little bit of diversity in the look of the whole thing. The actual wall itself that goes around the arena is large. It's actually 20 to 30 feet. So if you attempt to get out of the arena, you actually have to scale a smooth sandstone brick wall that is
no escape.
That ranges from 20 to 30, and it does have some varying degree, and that depends if it's west to east. And if it's west to east, you're about 30, and if you're north to south, you're about 20. And that's just because the structure will used to be something else, and so they've kept that wall for the intention. Now, we're going to go into kind of the description of where you all are at, where you all are meeting. For this, I'm going to go ahead and cue some sounds. So where you're going to be meeting is kind of before you have gotten to the labyrinth. You are now within the kind of area of large crowd music. Gotta get the rain back on. So, okay. You're in the northwest side of the section off area, and if I was going to ping you upon the actual district map, you're essentially coming into this area here. There's a mixture of large canopy tents, circus style, many people in a variety of colorations, potentially representatives of House. There's actual gladiators there that will be serving or fighting in the individual competition. They're getting like warmed up. They're fighting, they're training, they're eating. Some of them are just lounging in makeshift kind of cots or kind of day beds that have been brought there. There are many different stagecoaches and wagons with a variety of design and wood, some with metal reinforcement. There are livestock, and it's just create this large, diverse pool of sights and sounds. Upon coming in, you eventually find each other here before going in to the actual labyrinth entrance. The labyrinth entrance itself is massive. It has a great width about it. and it rivals the size of the main entrance itself. It's only about 10 to 15 feet less wide than that, and it has the same relative height. You notice that it's not even a staircase really down, it's more of a rampart that goes down into the actual labyrinth, forming that semi-archway. And there is a portcullis that is currently open. Two large mechanical winch-like mechanisms on either side that are housed with sandstone covered and straw thatching to protect them from maybe potentially rusting whatnot. And there's half walls around them as well to brace the wind. And you notice there's House Cooler as guard over there, keeping watch, easily 36 of them between both of the actual winches. You hear sounds at this point. You hear shuddering and moving, shaking of metal, echoing of voices down from the depths as they come out, screams of people. Potentially these monsters fighting back already. So you all have grouped up inside of that area before proceeding down into the labyrinth. You have kind of, right, settling the nerves a little bit. You're still in the morning here. I'm just going to advance the time clock roughly to about 8:30 in the morning. Doesn't seem like anything has quite happened yet. You don't hear cheering. You don't hear any sort of crowd kind of thumping or shaking of the earth yet. But you can hear them. You hear the sounds of them in the stands. You can feel the ground moving from the weight of the Colosseum next to you that spans 130, 150 with the canopy overhang up there. I mean, it's this massive sandstone structure next to you. People are looking at you, eyeing you. Many of the gladiators are. You notice there's a couple different... there's no group competitors up here, but individual competitors are looking. Right? The group competitors are already down, right? They're already inside of potentially the labyrinth, and so you're kind of there. Doesn't seem like there's anybody there to escort you or any sort of direction, it seems. So it's unclear as to, suppose we go down, right? That's kind of what you're assuming at this point, since you don't see any like groups really gathered that are adventurer types that are really going to fight. It's mainly individuals with their support teams.
I'm gonna start slamming my chest piece with my hand as I go down.
Okay. As a battle master, so as a battle master, Kyler, you count over 46 competitors in these individual competitions.
There we go.
How many will last after the monsters remains to be seen. Many of them are diverse.
I see Ruben, or not Ruben.
Roland.
Roland.
You do not see Roland yet.
Okay. Oh, I don't see him yet.
Nope.
Pussy. Sorry, sucking something in my throat. Anyway, we continue down to the group.
So we're continuing down.
I guess so.
Okay. So the labyrinth is primarily used for the storage of enslaved creatures. Many of them are very large, forcing the labyrinth to have a ceiling height of about 40 to 50 feet in certain areas. Humanoid gladiators from either House Coulores, another house or self-registered, or groups of gladiators that will be fighting in the group competition, are kept together in the labyrinth through a central tunnel heading south from the dungeon's main chamber. This is where you're entering in, is that main?
I'm gonna be real. That rain sound helped my tinnitus a lot.
This main chamber contains many iron-barred pens for smaller creatures, wagons for transporting goods, and a mixture of food supplies for the larger creatures brought through one of the 17 massive portcullis gates that delve into the labyrinth's major tunnels. So imagine, if you will, an area with sandstone tile covered in sand from the exterior of the ramparts, with large wench mechanisms to lower pens down into this area, sitting at its central location. Feed footage ranging from 20 to 60 feet away from you, 17 of these portcullises in a range of north, east, and even south. They're closed. Mechanisms are on the outside of them, and they delve into further tunnels. From here, you can hear the creatures thrashing against the iron pens, screaming outwards. You hear deep guttural language being yelled, potentially intelligent monsters as they're actually yelling. You hear prodding of weaponry and shaking of chain and manacles. The smaller pens are near empty, many of them bloodied. Limbs are sitting inside. Food has been poured out of them. The gates themselves are open. You notice there's 2 individuals with a wheelbarrow currently filling guts, blood, organs, a mixture of whatever creature was in a pen, loading it in, prompting one of those over by one of the major portcullises, opening those major portcullises, and then going down, potentially to feed the monsters. So these smaller pens are not really for what you might be fighting, fitting small to medium-sized creatures, or even large-sized creatures. They are meant to be food for the larger creatures, which are now empty, suggesting that they have to house a great number of them, feeding creatures over a long period, getting them ready, potentially to fight you all. The tunnel that proceeds south, near the corner of the southwest, it's the very small kind of tunnel, and it seems that there is a sign that is above it. There are individuals currently there that are standing out in front. They are representative of House Kulre's guard, but as well as House Fortune and Favor individuals. The sign that hangs above it clearly states humanoid gladiators. It's a metal plaque that is ingrained, etched in, and it's just hanging there. There are a couple individuals that are taking notes. They seem to be common to noble folk. They have a range of colorations of their silk tunics as well as their garments. And upon reaching this area, they kind of look, they don't stop you here. They just look at you, kind of size you up a little bit. And then these humanoids, the one with the notes and things that are taking, they look towards you. They are reporters. They're bards. As they look, what is your name? One speaks, a half-elf, blonde hair with blue eyes, a slight goatee to the chin, chiseled jawbone, loot at the back, as well as a saddle, a couple different saddle bags on either side, a backpack kind of overhanging one of the shoulders, has a rapier at the side. What's your names? Who was fighting? All of you.
The Dragon Slayers.
See as the house guard kind of shove them back and kind of push you back. The Dragon Slayers! Dragon Slayers! They kind of get pushed back as you begin to funnel through the tunnel. Now, coming into the tunnel, the guard are actually following you at this point. There doesn't seem to be any sort of portcullis that bars the entry or exit, but they're kind of following you and making sure that you kind of get. They're not saying any words or anything. They know who you are. They've seen you come into the Lanista's balcony. They've seen you be here before. You don't really recognize them because there was a number of guard that was there on that day. Tunnel eventually reaches a staging area for the storage of weapons and equipment, as well as the registration of those participating in the contest. In addition, small chambers for bathrooms and a larger one for a kitchen and dining is present. An auxiliary tunnel from the arena's southwestern side delves directly to the staging area for the delivery of weapons or armor, or the receiving of them for repairs. So a much smaller rampart that is there, now leading to even another entrance into the Colosseum. And this rampart does have a portcullis as well as a double wooden door that is barred, and suggesting that if something were to happen, such as an injury or a corpse being removed, right, this is where they would take them out. They would take you out up there, and you can see it goes directly into Cheapside as it begins to be opened. There are individuals coming down with carts and wheelbarrows filled with a variety of different weapons. These are people from the teams potentially delivering the individual competitors' weapons. As you come in, you notice there are a range of different groups that are competing. They are a range of different kind of party size, 4 to 8 individuals. Maybe only a couple, maybe they're only having a few of them fight. Right? If they're having 8 individuals, maybe they're going to trim down, if you will. They're kind of talking amongst themselves. So drinking ale, sitting around round tables with wooden chairs that kind of dot around a circular kind of pillar that extends up to the ceiling height of the staging area. And around the circular pillar, the sandstone pillar that spiralizes upwards to the ceiling are these registration, right? So you can see that there's individuals here upon circular sandstone desks that are central kind of here. And they have these chairs made of rickety and weathered wood. They have a couple spilled ale, food covered, riddled with blood as well, even the registration tables. So they're all kind of really the same. But the individuals that are here, they are humanoids. They have tattoos across their faces, in addition to the crystal jewelry embedded into the face at various points through piercings. They have healer's kits and small packs with potions, herbs, and medical supplies. And sitting at these sandstone desks as well via the scissor chairs, in addition to the weathered and kind of old and wooden chairs that the group are currently sitting and drinking, going into the kitchen space towards the eastern side, delving in with a few cooks and things to get loaves of bread that are sitting in baskets that are free to take, are House Coulores representatives. They each wear leather armor, beige silk tunics. They contain weapons. Again, diverse race, but each has an emblem of a golden dune raised with a crystal behind it on the shoulder pad of the leather armor. They work with small ledgers, ink and ink pen, to write down potentially the registrant's information for the contest soon to take place. There are a number of them. They are prepared for the influx of the individual competitors. It's calm right now because there's not many group competitors, right? So it's calm. There's a chill here. Just a medium crowd, maybe a clank of 2 from up nearby blacksmith towards the southwest side in the corner that has a canopy cover, a makeshift kind of wagon and wheelbarrow, and as well as a charcoal forge that they've built themselves there on the spot as they're kind of repairing weapons and working with different things that they might have in the meantime before the individual competitors arrive. So really, again, this is just, you all are kind of the front runners here. You're the openers, right? That's really what it is. And there's just not a lot of people down here. As soon as you come into the staging area, you notice a couple of the registrants looking in your direction, and you have your pick. Again, a diverse race. I'm just going to assume you walk up to the first one that you see. Coming up to this individual appears to be a human with a darker complexion, braided into a twin braid coming down with golden brooches. They have purple eyes as well as a clean-shaven face and high cheekbones. They look upon you with hands outraged. They look towards the representatives type of paperwork that they have. You notice there's a list of group names, more than are currently here. So not all groups have arrived. They look into your direction. Who are you?
Dragon Slayers.
The Dragon Slayers. Yes. I see. 6 individuals competing with your group?
That's us.
Fantastic. You all will be last. In our fight here, we do have a couple groups that have yet to make way. Competition will be starting in roughly...
Why not push us up?
Pulls up from the tunic, reveals a small pocket watch, unfurls and looks. You'll be starting in half an hour for group competition. If the 2 groups do not arrive, you'll be pushed up, of course. Do expect to be here for an hour, a couple hours or so before competing, potentially against the first monster. Are you all prepared? Are you all ready?
Oh,
Born
we're
ready.
ready.
Appreciate that. Pulls out a waiver, slides it down. The waiver itself is a page long, loosely on a parchment that's been transcribed very quickly, as there's been many different copies, pulling off from one of the bags, kind of satchels, if you will, from nearby, and lays it down. Pulls an ink pen and quill. I hope that you all can write, yes, or read. I can read it for you if you can't.
Oh, I can read.
We can all
I think we
read,
can all
thanks.
read.
This is simply a waiver to note that we are not we are not accountable for your deaths, nor for the loss of your possessions.
I'm going to read the whole thing.
Okay. reading the whole thing. There are multiple different articles. In total, there's 12 different articles to this waiver.
Goddamn.
They go into essentially not being accountable for the first several of them, stating that House Coolrez isn't accountable, Denkosh are not accountable, noting their name within the waiver itself.
Oh.
Also saying that the Lathan Council is not accountable, and they're stating the reasons why, as the Coliseum itself is affiliated with multiple different parties, and you are agreeing to the competition, you are agreeing to the prize money as well of 10,000 gold pieces upon winning the best time. Goes into a couple different articles there. They also begin to go into the articles of that you will not use these specific enchantments or spells, right? Going into summoning of multiple creatures, right? Those summoning spells, as well as teleporting potentially if you're going to teleport out of the space. It does say that you can teleport in the space, so you can move about the actual space
Within the
inside
arena.
of the sand. Yes,
Yeah.
but you cannot teleport out and then come
Outside,
back,
yeah.
right?
Okay.
So there are languages there. They also state AoE spells as far as like fireballs and certain things. So they are versed in arcane magic. They're noting certain spells on the list, saying that if you are to use these, do not harm the arena. So if you're to call lightning, make sure the lightning does not strike down on the canopy. If you're going to be throwing off a fireball, make sure it does not strike maybe the edge of it into the crowd or the wall nearby.
This is pure
Things of that
professionalism, baby.
Yeah. So that is what this waiver is really saying. And then it goes into possessions at the last. It says they will not deliver your possessions to anyone. They will simply collect your possessions and they will hold it within the staging area, and then they will deliver it to not Master Smithy, but the actual smithy within House Coolrez. So there's a particular name. So if you are to die and your armor and possessions are lost and it's not claimed here, they will move it there. They won't deliver it to a place that you state you want it. So that's one of the things. They don't, if you die, your body will be taken, and that is one of the articles that is there. If it's not claimed, your body will be buried in the traditional way that many of the gladiators have been buried, which is a pure burning. So they'll do in the bazaar. One of the things that we'll see here in the bazaar is they actually have an area that they will make a fire, and they will burn your body on your
Dude,
death.
death by pyre is a
If
way
it's
to go,
not
baby.
if it's not claimed, so they do house the body. So one of the things that you're looking for potentially for Ox, right, in your thing, Roland dies. They'll hold Roland here in the staging area. They'll put him in they'll wrap him in cloth. They'll put him in like literally a wheelbarrow, house him over in the corner near the rampart, and then if nobody comes up and claims the bodies from House Coolrez representative, they'll just go and move and burn them. That's what's on this waiver right now.
Roland should have stayed home.
So this one waiver has just a bottom area to it, and that is what is expected to sign from each of you. That
Can
ink,
anybody
pen,
claim the
and-
body?
It does not specify who can claim or what can claim. It
There
does
we go.
not specify relations or any sibling, or does not care. They just want someone to claim it. That's it.
Don't worry,
Imagine if-
you guys got the body.
Like someone who absolutely fucking hates you comes and gets your body and like,
Scavenger's wet dream in there.
yeah.
God damn. Who's ready for bloodshed?
Oh,
Fight,
yeah.
fight, fight,
Kill some
fight,
shit.
fight, fight.
You see an armored figure wearing half plate, looking in a direction, smoking a pipe. Appears to be an elf. Wears a couple different emblems of magical items, bracers, some sort of cloak, amulet. Smoking, has this beautiful sun blonde hair, golden eyes, and fair complexion. No
High elf?
facial hair at all. Does look like it. Surrounded by the party, dwarf, halfling, mixture of different things. Begins to yell out, "Keep your quiet. You'll soon die, don't worry.
Hey, fuck you, buddy. Go fuck yourself.
Yo, go
Shove
fuck
that back up
yourself.
Your ass.
You
Yo, fuck you.
You
know
wanna
what?
fucking go? You
We
wanna
should
go
fight
right now?
right
You
now,
wanna fucking
shouldn't
go
we?"
right now? Right now? You wanna go right now?
See a bunch of house
see,
guard
look,
coming
somebody
into
already
space, beginning to push you both back. There's easily 3 dozen of House Coolrez guard that are rushing down the tunnel you just came through, as well as
Yeah.
another tunnel that leads out to the rampart into the actual Colosseum itself. And so they begin to kind of come into the space, armored weapon, and they begin to kind of shove back and push you into separate spaces to the
God.
north and south of the particular
Dude.
area.
We're just the fucking Yankees versus the Red Sox right now. We're just. The fuck you say to me, you fucking bitch?
Short guy started it.
Yeah, that's right. Fucking walk away, you little punk.
Oh, you do not have to rise to this fight. Save that energy for the arena.
What do you mean? I'm cool as a cucumber, baby.
You are not a cucumber.
I'm supposed to get.
You're
into
right,
this
I'm an
for my
eggplant.
entire thing.
Why would you be an eggplant?
Bigger.
You're not purple.
I'm ready to fucking kill. I'm ready to entertain these people. You guys ready to entertain? Remember, the more gruesome you can make it, the more entertained they will be.
That's true. I bet there are benefits to being a crowd favorite.
Make
Exactly.
it gruesome or make it sexy. Either one works.
See? You guys get it.
Faster it goes, the more likely we win. That's it.
Well, yeah, we know that, but, you know,
I mean, think
gotta
about
make
it.
gotta make it a little sexy, you know?
If
how do
the
I do
crowd
that?
absolutely
I
creates a
want
competitor-
Ika to shoot a fireball while under his leg. Straight up.
If the crowd,
Crowd will go
absolutely
wild.
hates a competitor or a group, then the arena's not gonna want them to win, right?
Yep. Remember, we're not just trying to survive or win here. We're trying to win the crowd's favor.
We're putting on a show.
Exactly. This is entertainment.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I am right. I know.
You have selective hearing. It's good to know.
There you go. You're learning quick.
Make it as gory and quick as possible. Cut heads off, limbs off, disembowel.
Doesn't have to be gory to be entertaining, Kyler. I'm not
Oh,
saying
wait.
don't make it gory. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
you have to make it
Kyler,
gory to make it entertaining.
You know, you can also wink to the crowd. You know, get someone swooning, flex a little bit. Other ways to entertain.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna have fangirls, Tenzin.
We both will.
Exactly. It's part of the business.
Get a predator handshake with Tenzin. Yeah. You know it. Fuck yeah, make the girl swoon. Or men, I don't know.
Gonna
Make
say
everyone
girls
swoon.
and the men.
Doesn't matter to me. I'll make the monsters swim.
Steps with her mic doesn't matter to me. Alright, anyway, should we prepare?
Yeah.
Alright, let's prepare.
How much time do we have?
We don't know. Some
Half an hour
groups might
until
not
half
show
an
up.
hour until it starts, but then after that it could be
Yeah.
a period.
Groups might not show up. We might be the very last. We might be the fucking second. Tenzin, show me some techniques you've been working on. Let's run through some skirmishes. Non-lethal, of
Spawn,
course.
Or you just want to
We're sparring.
start
Yeah.
working out.
You
Non-lethal,
really
but we're
want to
just
show some of these competitors what you're going to be like when you're versing on the
they're
solo
going to be
competition,
building a
Kyler?
wall. Whoever's not participating is going to be building a wall and blocking them off. Plus, I got some tricks up my sleeves. They're not ready. We're just
After a
fast
little
tracking.
bit, yeah, after a little bit of potentially getting a drink for yourself, so a little bit of food, the group show up. They do. They show up, and there are a larger 9 individuals in one group, and then 5 individuals in and one group consists of purely Goliaths. To be barbarians, if you will. The 5 individuals are starting with great
Barbarian
axes, wearing
Goliaths.
similar clan symbols upon them. Actually, the different kind of hide they're wearing, patchwork of clothes and different things. They're from high alpine environments, potentially warmer though than the Frosthorns. They're coming in. They're
More south.
They're speaking giant to themselves. They begin to kind of talk amongst them, coming to the registrars, and they note themselves as the Horn Carvers. and that was the name that they provided in the registrants. And then they go and find themselves a table, grabbing first a large keg from the kitchen. One of the cooks goes, "Hey!" Just continues to walk the keg. They break the keg in with the great axe, shove. Water begins to pour outwards. They begin to pull their mouths into the large keg as they begin to hand it to one another.
You think they'd notice if I snuck in there?
I mean, you're pretty sneaky. Are you trying to steal their drinks? Bunch of angry big men.
No. Eyes on the prize.
That's just poor sport.
I'm just saying it'd be pretty funny if I got in there and, put my mouth under the spigot like they're all doing. Get some,
Oh yeah, and you're out of character. What? How tall are you?
Like 5'4".
Yeah, against a Goliath, I'm sure
not
you
tall.
fit right in that 5 foot stature.
Yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't even notice.
Are you serious? Goliaths?
Isn't that a
And
good idea
judging by them barbarians, they're
for any
Most
of us to
creatures
get
don't look
drunk
down.
before the fight?
a lot of creatures look down. Believe it or not, that's how they get the superiority. That's how they feel better about themselves.
You sound
They
like
love
an
to
elf.
look down. Me? I'm a half elf. You know I know.
I fight best when I'm drunk, so
I cover
you
all
actually?
bases, Lysandra. You'll see. I
I don't
understand.
know. I mean, I
well.
feel like I do, but I feel like I do a lot of things better than I do when I'm drunk.
Good. Here, I'm gonna hand her some rum.
She's gonna chug it.
Do you? No. Before I fully hand it to her, are you ready to take the long shots, or are you gonna be up close? Which one? We have a battle strategy here.
Probably up close.
Up close? All right. If that's the case, here's the rum. I'm
Oh,
trusting
that
you
rum was
closer than
conditional.
long with the rum. You stay right behind me or Tenzin or Lysandra. You get them hits in. We'll be good.
Will do.
I'm gonna hand her some rum.
Come to 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock rolls around. You see some of the residents flicking to each other, pulling at the pot watches. There's a
You feel it?
unison, large pitch tone that emanates from their actual pocket watches. They begin to open it up and look in the direction. Crowd begins to cheer above, and certain things begin to happen. I've just put on generic Coliseum music for the sake of getting you all kind of psyched up a little bit.
Woo!
You notice Lenista Coolres comes walking in from the tunnel that you actually came into. It's to walk slowly and surely. It is to begin. Good luck, and may it forever be in your favor.
You fucking stole that from
Hold
the
up.
Hunger Games.
I'm gonna bow.
Wow.
I'm gonna bow in respect to him. We will not disappoint.
Good. They came here for a show. Give them that.
Absolutely. I'm gonna turn her right.
Horn
Who's ready to
Carvers,
fucking murder?
you are up first. Good luck. Begins to walk down the tunnel. Sees
First,
the Horn Carvers group themselves
Carvers?
together.
The
They
horn
begin to
boys.
psych themselves up. Begin to yell at each other, going into rages prematurely here, battering each other, smacking each other in the face. They begin to run out.
I like
So-
them.
So they're heading in the direction. There's only really one way from here that you can really see. This was kind of showcased when I mentioned the ramparts that come in from the Colosseum in the north or south side. So specifically, they'll bring in potentially monsters from the north rampart, or there's another way they bring in monsters depending on what kind of monster it is. And then the south rampart is where you're going to be headed, and that tunnel you can see is much larger, and that aims towards the southeastern corner, and it forms in similar as the entrance as you made into the kind of dungeon area prior to this room. Right, you have a large 40 to 40 foot ceiling height. It's massive in its width, and it just kind of forms into the sandstone structure, the bed of sandstone that is the labyrinth that's underneath here. This tan kind of coloration, as well as the core sandstone earth that's bedrock at this stage, not tile, and then the sand kind of brushes around it. And so you see there's the There's guard that line that tunnel right and kind of rounds the corner from your vision. You're unable to see, but the horn carvers kind of get ready, begin to head away from you, roughly 90 or to about 90 feet away from you, right as they begin to head to that tunnel and round around, disappearing out of sight. As time passes, you begin to sit here. You notice the registrants simply just waiting. You don't hear much of anything besides the occasional cheer and the shouting and the thunderous steps. And those are creating large amounts of sand that's falling off of the rocks and coming down upon your faces and the tables and things. The kitchen, the blacksmith's continuing. Everyone's really going at it. You notice the groups, some of them are sharpening their skills, their weapons. They're playing sword play with each other. Potentially others are throwing magic spells within their hands and
What's
reading
that high elf?
books and spell books and things. The high elf has not stopped looking at you all, smoking
Yeah,
a
I'm
pipe
gonna eye
and
fuck
staring.
that dude.
Just eye fuck at each other
Yeah.
at this point.
Exactly.
Staring at you.
I'm not breaking fucking eye line. This is it. I'm
12
looking at that fucking bitch.
Minutes have passed by. You have not seen or heard anything that would note a victory. After roughly half an hour has transpired, you notice there are certain guards coming in, begin to whisper to the registrants. The registrants reach down, pat onto the healers. The healers begin to run down the tunnels.
Half
Multiple
an
carts and things are being brought out as well. There's a slight cheer to the crowd, kind of a thing, and then there's a broad voice that begins to boom.
What?
It is Kulrez, the voice booming across. You can actually hear it echoing down the tunnel from the rampart that the horn carvers had just used, disappearing out of line of sight. Notes that they had completed the competition in roughly 26 minutes. First stage. Horn carvers return. There's only one left. The rest of the four are dead, carried in carts. These
Fucking
horn carvers
bitches.
bloodied, multiple lacerations, bite marks. The left arm is broken, cracked. Goes to the kitchen. Looks to the cook. Grabs another keg, throws it over the shoulder. And begins to walk out. No longer.
Oh, he's leaving.
No longer going to be able to compete. It's the last
Did they
one.
do all 3 battles consecutively?
No,
That was one.
that was
That was
one.
one?
Half an hour later, that's
Jeez.
one.
Just grabs the keg and begins to walk out. Brothers, horn carver's dead. Just no
Ladies
reason
and
to fight
gentlemen, that
anymore.
is weakness leaving the arena.
Registrants call up the next group. We're going to fast track at this stage. The next group comes back. They finished it in good time. That
How
voice
good?
booms. You hear 12 minutes.
What's this, the high elf?
It's not the high elf. It's another group.
Oh, okay. 12 minutes. Okay.
The group
okay.
the high elf goes.
Okay.
The group the high elf goes. 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay.
10 minutes is the time to beat. The other group goes. 16 minutes. Lost 2 individuals. The party of 8. One of which is crying. Keeps saying, "My love, no, no!
Pussy!
I'll win this for you. Vengeance will be sworn." Sure enough, as time progresses, advancing the clock,
We're not like that, guys. We're built different. We don't have those sort of attachments.
like I said, you didn't know half an hour to an hour for the first. Your name, Dragon Slayers, from one of the registrants, is called.
Oh, yeah.
It's time.
As the high elf is looking, the party, relatively unscathed, looks in your direction. Puts on the pipe, packs it, smoke.
Just walk by.
Fuck
Looking
yourself. As you
Fuck you too.
Yeah,
walk
fuck you later.
down the tunnel. We are gonna go
Like
Like
ahead.
your hair, but fuck you.
We're gonna go ahead
Fucking
and take
Elvish.
a break.
Fuck your mother.
So we're gonna go ahead and take a break. So we're going to take a 10-minute break here. We begin to head out. I'm gonna go ahead and activate the scene. So,
Oh, boy.
it's my Might
Everybody
take some
go do
of
some push-ups, some sit. Oh, this is it. Get ready. Get ready. Get
Might take
hyped.
some of you difficulty loading. So this particular map, there's more to the arena to the north and south, but the west and east is actually accurate, forming that kind of oval kind of shape, and then you hunt the 100 feet
Holy
large. It's
This
a
is
massive
huge.
map. Okay,
Yeah.
it's huge. You are very small in comparison to this map. So, but note that the arena itself is larger. The reason why I did not make it larger is that the file size was too large for load times. In consideration that we're going to be coming back and forth to the map through the stages.
Dude,
So
we're
I didn't
fucking
wanna
playing
make
in
it
the Dallas
too large.
Cowboy Stadium. Jesus Christ, this shit's big as fuck.
All right.
For real.
I'm gonna go ahead and pause the music. If you're watching the stream, thanks so much. We'll be back in 10 minutes or so, so 9:16 p.m. PST, and we hope you return and watch to see the Dragon Slayers fight in their first round of group combat.
Oh, it's gonna be a fucking sweep. 30 seconds. Wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I'm calling it.
See you in a
6
bit.
rounds. 6 rounds.
6 rounds. It's a wrap.
All right, welcome back. I'm not going to go through any sort of recap. We have the
Nope.
Dragon Slayers fighting the first round of group
Send it.
competition against some sort of creature. Going to go ahead and start the music, and I'm going to go ahead and unpause it. So as you walk into the portcullis is open for you. 2 winch mechanisms, potential house cool res guard. They open the portcullis for you. As you begin to pass through, they don't say any words to you. They just let you come out onto the field here. As you begin to go up the rampart, you now get to here. So you're going at a period of depth. Remember how far you went of the first rampart? You're getting up to the base of the Colosseum. So you're going up roughly 50 to 60 feet to actually get to the sand here as you go up. And the sand itself is kind of falling down. There's a rain, so it's actually raining and quite heavily. The canopy barely covering that rain, and then eventually doesn't cover any of it. No one says anything. The crowd itself, in the thousands and thousands of people. We're talking tens of thousands of people. Everyone just looking, cheering. People are eating food. They're waving different flags and banners around of colorations of different houses, particularly that they actually follow. As you all come into space here, you see across the way a podium of sorts, a platform of sorts, extending out from Lanista Coularez's box, which actually faces opposite of the southern rampart intention. You see Coularez adjacent with multiple different scissor chairs, individuals of a variety, potentially people that he particularly invited to the competition. He grabs the hawk, the falcon, right, the bird. It's on the shoulder. Throws out the bird, and the bird begins to fly around. And as the bird flies around, the voice of Coularez comes out of the bird's mouth in a booming voice as it begins to spiral around. Last and final group. Dragon Slayers, and they will not disappoint. Let it begin. Good luck. As you begin to now walk out. Don't see anything in front of you, just a large bit of sand. People cheering. You're free to move around.
As they walk out, Marina's
Oh my god.
like hyping up the crowd, like
Today is a good day to die.
I'm just
gonna have
taking
to
my
do the
shirt off.
war
I'm
time.
just ripping my shirt off.
I'm fucking going. I don't give a shit. Fuck y'all. I'm going in. This is where I stand,
Walking up.
in the middle.
Coularez's hands outstretched. Dragon
pick up some
Slayers,
sand, rub
are
up my
you
hands.
ready to
I
achieve
look towards
victory?
him. I look towards him. And I bow.
Claps the hand to the heart and bows.
Yep.
Let it begin. You see as the voice booms out, there's a shaking of the actual ground out in front of you in a range of footage here, Kyler. Maybe imagine 80 to 60 feet or so as the sand begins to fall inwards, as something begins to arise from the actual ground. It has these sandstone slats on either side of it as it arises from the sand. As it is, those I'm just going to have just a place here of a potential kind of
Oh.
thing. This is a placement of how large it is as it comes out. These slats
Can I get
coming.
angry?
You hear lashing and hitting
this
into
is
the
happening.
slabs itself. These lats that go around it and a large footage. As they do, one falls in, one other falls in, and they begin to spiral down all at once as the creature emerges, begins to roar. It's a
Wait, what?
massive, ginormous Tyrannosaurus Rex.
T-Rex!
Oh,
Damn.
Damn
Poetic.
straight roll initiative.
So, I heard Tenzin, you said you wanted a rage, so you declared it, so go ahead and use it. Now, I do want to specify, if you are prepared to do anything before I reveal the monster, you need to declare it before I do it. Because as soon as I reveal the monster to you, or if the entrance of the potential thing, I will go ahead and state roll initiatives. So, you declared rage, so we get the rage effect on. I didn't hear anybody else declare anything else, so I
Nope.
need the initiatives rolled now.
Here we go.
you want me to roll for the random,
Oh,
the wild path stuff?
I
too?
do. Yep.
Linus.
Oh, the
I'm
the
starting to
rolling
think.
chart's all
I'm
messed
starting to
up.
think Michael has a fucking negative
Oh no,
to
I
my
don't want to be
initiative bonus. This is like 20 straight sessions of me being at the bottom of the initiative.
All right, so
I
I
want
kind
to
of
be
have
first.
I have you
I
at
got it.
10,
I
and
do.
then I have you at 15. So you're
So-
taking the 15 right for advantage.
If
It
that's the
rolled 3
case,
times.
if I'm gonna be,
It rolled 3 times.
Yeah.
So you're at
first
20.
one
You're at 23
was-
and 11. 23.11. That's your initiative. That's the first roll.
Hooray.
Oh god.
hold up though.
And then we have a 7 of the wild magic surge table.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck it.
Okay, 1 second.
I was gonna potentially roll a superiority die to move up in the turn order, but how low I rolled, it doesn't matter. I rolled.
You're within 10 feet of me, and I have an aura that means that you can add +4 to your roll. So you're within 10 feet of me, Kyla.
Yeah.
Is this the flowers and vines one? It is.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. This-
Make the arena real
Nice.
pretty.
yeah, you're making the arena real pretty. So it's that right there. That's funny. All right. 15 feet around you is difficult terrain. I'll make to keep note of that as we navigate through. All right. Anybody else?
I'm gonna
Questions?
I'm gonna roll a superiority die to add to my initiative.
Okay.
And I think at level, the fuck am I at? 10? Is that what I'm at?
You are at level 10. You are a level 10 Battlemaster. Your
It should be
it should be a D10.
10. Yeah, I'm gonna roll a D10
Okay.
for my to add to my initiative.
Okay.
So add 6 to that, please.
Okay. We're going up to 13 then. 13.15.
Have you added the +4 as well?
And then we're gonna add a +4 because I'm within 10 feet of Lysandra.
E.
Let's see.
Let me take away one of my superiority die. I'm doing that automatically.
Tyler, you were given not the +4, probably because we rolled prior to you moving into position. But it looks like
I
Marina
did.
got a
Yeah, I rolled before. I was the first one, I think, or one of.
or that aura.
I was the
Do
second.
we have an aura for that? I don't think we have an aura for that. No. Okay.
I don't.
No, there's no aura for the initiative one because it's
Yeah,
too
whatever.
difficult. It's too difficult to put
Whatever.
in, unfortunately, for Foundry. It sometimes gets confused. So
Yeah,
I don't
whatever.
worry then. All right,
Fucking send it.
here we go. Begin combat. Aika, you're up. Round 1.
You got this, baby.
You already know. I'm just gonna kind of.
Yep.
Delete it.
Get that out, and then I'm gonna have Linus. I'm gonna have Linus help Kyler, but stay in the air, so maybe he doesn't get one shot this time.
Oh, I won't.
I'm talking about Linus.
Okay, yeah, he won't.
I believe in him. This time. And then I'm gonna move back 10 feet, and that's gonna be my turn.
Okay. Marina, you're up.
God. Okay. I'm gonna. Let's see. Wait, what's my movement speed? 40. Okay. Let's see. 40 feet. No, bonus action dash to move. Another 40 feet. Don't, no, just kidding. I don't want to get that close. I changed my mind. I'm not gonna.
You're a bold one, Marina.
And I'm gonna take out my short bow for right now
Okay.
and shoot an arrow at it.
Okay. Fire away.
Oh, sorry. I always forget to target. God. Okay, here we go.
24 is going to hit as you fire an arrow off. Multiple rolls happening. Okay. I think you click twice, so they both roll the same, which
Oh,
is super funny.
crap, sorry.
That was like
Yeah.
literally the exact same roll you
That's
rolled twice.
convenient.
24, short bow
Dude, yeah,
hits,
take
7
it.
points of piercing damage is dealt as you fire the arrow into the side of the creature. As the creature is hit, it lets out a roar. Or like,
And then
that's a
I
lion
actually
roar.
am gonna
my team.
bonus
There you
action
go.
dash a little
There's
bit
my
to
team.
get here.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. And that is my turn.
All right, Tenzin, you're up.
Alright. Spend a key point. Use my bonus action to dash straight towards
Fuck yeah.
giant fucking lizard.
Fuck yeah.
And take out my flail. And get to
Right
attack
towards the mouth
recklessly.
end too. Good job.
Listen, I know I'm tasty. And recklessly swing with the flail.
Oh yeah.
27's going to hit.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
10 points of bludgeoning damage. You smack across the face as it lowers the head down towards you.
And do it again.
Next strike 15 does not land as it pulls the head back away. You swing wildly with the flail.
Alright. Use my bonus action, and that will be my turn.
Kyler, you're up.
Do I need to get into the circle or just right here?
You have to be within reach of the creature. The creature was raised up by some sort of platform, like an
That's fine.
elevator-like mechanism.
All right. We're testing it. The Bane of Barrythune. Do I have Great Weapon Master on? I don't, so I should put that on.
16 is going to land as you come across.
Well, I'm gonna re-roll those because re-roll
Thank
one of them, I
God.
should say.
This one? Okay.
Oh my god.
All right,
Okay.
we're taking the one. 18
Yeah,
points
we're
of
taking the
damage
one.
as you
That's
come
it.
swinging across, striking into one of its legs as it one of its kind of large talon legs as it kind of reaches forward a little bit. You come in and strike down with the sword.
All right, second attack coming in.
16 hits again.
Fuck yeah.
23 points of damage as you come around, slicing into the leg once more.
And I'm hasted, so this might be the last attack.
Okay. Five lands, striking into its leg again, once, twice. The crowd cheers and roars your accomplishment, striking into the beast and the ferocity. The beast begins to bleed across multiple legs, begins to pour out.
I'm gonna move here with the rest of my movement, and that's gonna end my turn.
Okay. Rocks are up.
30, and I'm just gonna shoot out Guiding Bolt.
Okay.
Fuck yeah. Oh.
20, it's gonna hit.
Oh.
Across 18 points of radiant damage as you strike into the creature, lighting it in the holiest, glorious guiding bolts, which I'm gonna have to put the effect on because I think we changed the name of it. So, ta-da! Begins to alight as it strikes into the chest.
Awesome. All right, that's it.
All right, Sandra.
Where is? She's gonna move up to 30 and then use the dash action to get closer.
Okay.
That will be what she does.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. Ending the turn after the dash, I imagine.
Yes.
Okay. We
Give
now
it to
come
me,
to
baby.
the T-Rex's turn. T-Rex sidesteps, looks over
Yeah.
to Kyler as it does. It raises out its mouth in for a bite. 26 hits you.
I take it.
Kyler, you take 48 points of damage. As you take
Send
the
it.
damage, you are raised into its mouth as you are now grappled by the creature inside of its mouth.
Cool.
Raising you upright, begins to kind of chomp down a little bit, then swings its back tail over to you, Tenzin, in a multi-attack. Vertically hits you.
Oh.
Tenzin, you take 77 points of bludgeoning damage. You half to 38 because you are raging. As you are struck, you are shoved
Good on you,
back 15
Tenzi.
feet. No save provided as you're thrown backwards. The save you take is a strike saving throw to maintain your posture and not falling prone. 18, you succeed, you maintain, you
go,
do not
baby.
fall prone. The crowd jeering and jawing a little bit from the strike, and eventually you, Kyler, being in the mouth of the creature. The creature's turn.
Damn straight, baby.
As it takes you now out of range, it is going to now move at its movement speed as it begins to turn with you in its mouth.
Okay.
It moves
So let's go for
50 feet. I'm dragging you with it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And then
There
it
we go.
slowly turns as it begins to wrap around for the rest of its movement speed with you still in its mouth.
Hey,
And
Marina,
it's
what's up?
Taking you over towards Marina's side steps away. It lets out a miniature kind of roar, gargling with you in its mouth as it kind of comes a little bit with its claw and its tail out towards you, Marina, potentially just striking you. Because
I'm
you
within
had the
5 feet,
bow fire.
baby. That's all I need.
Aika, you are up. Top of round 2.
Alright. I'll move there. And I'm gonna throw lightning orb at it.
Okay. Flinging out, you have advantage from the
Oh,
guiding
God
bolt. 28
damn.
is going to hit as the bolt fires out. 27 points of lightning damage as it crashes. The creature let out another roar from the strike. As it does, now turns its attention towards you and snaps its eyes.
I'm gonna get Linus to go up and then help Kyler again. So Kyler, remember to do your attack at advantage next time.
Wait, did I not do it at advantage before?
Did not. Did
Ah, it
not.
didn't matter. I hit all.
Sure.
Fucking
You are being
epic energy.
you are
I hit them
being,
all.
you are being helped by Linus.
Okay, I'm being helped by Linus. All right.
You are being
I'm
helped
gonna
by
move
Linus.
a
Does
little
that
bit
count the
this way.
saving throws?
It counts
No.
the help. The help can account for you potentially escaping from this effect.
Yeah.
So if that's what you're going to be taking the advantage for, you can.
But if I attack him, would it be just like a normal attack? then?
It'll be a normal attack because you
Perfect.
are
That's all I
technically
need.
in a restrained
Yep.
state, which I'm
Yep.
going to be putting
That's all I
onto
need.
you upon the start of your turn.
Okay, that's gonna be my turn.
Marina, you're up.
Okay. I didn't even have to move. He came to me.
Mhm.
My lucky day. Am I in range right now, or do I need to get closer?
You are not in range, so the creature has reach and is able to definitely reach you, but you cannot reach it.
I'm gonna zoom over here. Now I'm gonna switch to my rapier
Yeah.
and attack him.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Right, 23 is going to
I
land.
also sneak attack because Kyler is right there.
I'm in the mouth, baby. You know
Correct.
I'm
The
here.
target.
In the mouth.
The enemy is not. You don't have disadvantage. The enemy is not incapacitated. Right, and it's within 5 feet. So by the rules, you have.
I do-
I
Yes,
mean,
I do get
if
sneak attack, right?
realistically, you probably wouldn't. But yes, for rules is written.
But because I am
Thank
in
you.
the mouth.
Rules are written. You do. 20
You
points
got
of
this,
sneak attack
Marina!
damage. You slide by,
Jesus Christ.
slicing
20
across
sneak
its
attack
leg.
damage.
Look at that
Yeah,
sneak
it's
attack.
5d6. Sneak attack is a lot of damage. Yeah, you get one attack. So yeah.
That's how you make
And
it up.
then I'm gonna bonus action disengage.
Okay.
And just
Augers.
do a little bit of.
You don't need to disengage. You have mobile, and you did strike.
Oh, nice.
That'll be
Mobile
the
feet
one.
on a road.
That'll
got
be
that
the
last
one
session,
and
okay?
only time that I will remind you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Chef's kiss
I
on
remind a lot of other people that mobile. So
Look, I just got it like last session.
I know.
will remember.
So yeah, I'm giving you.
And you haven't found a T-Rex yet.
And that is my turn.
Okay. Tenzin, you're up.
Tenzin, help me.
Walking right up to this lizard again. Don't like that he's trying to eat my buddy over here. So recklessly again, swing the flails. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh no.
Well, it's not going to hit.
Unfortunate.
As it turns its body, rotating around, dodging out of the way of it. Second strike comes through. That's 26. Recklessly advantage. You hit. That deals 11 points of bludgeoning damage as you slash the flail down into the left side, which is already significantly wounded. Now kind of himped
Gonna-
and limbering from the multiple lacerations, is bleeding profusely, and you can see the raw bone.
Unarmed strike, bonus action.
Oh,
23
Let's
hits,
go.
oh shit.
9
9
points
more
of bludgeoning damage.
And again, flurry of blows.
Fuck yeah.
Give it another hit.
Fuck yeah.
Spending a key point to get one more unarmed strike in.
Tenzin, help me.
23 does hit.
Oh, there we go.
12 points of bludgeoning damage coming across, taking advantage of the fact that the left leg of the creature's lacerated, bleeding profusely. The crowd continues to cheer at the sight of the creature now limbering and lumbering. Multiple bleeding marks from the lacerations. The creature lets out a small kind of whimper and kind of looks towards it and stares around, looking at basically the rest of the crowd at this point, and slowly begins to turn its body in an attempt to run away.
Oh yeah, I bet. See you guys. I'm out of here.
And because I use my unarmed strike, my AC will be bumped up by 2. And I'll just go ahead and manually put that, since I know it's a weird feature. And yeah, that's my turn.
All right, Kyle, you're up.
So if I'm already, you put the restraint thing, should I roll for advantage if the owl's helping me?
You would just roll. You would roll at advantage.
Just a normal-
The restraint
okay.
condition will apply disadvantage. And they'll cancel each
Okay.
other out, so it should be a normal.
So okay, so I'm
You
gonna
hold
hit.
on.
Oh
Nat
shit!
one.
Damn.
You have an advantage.
You're
That's what I-
restrained.
Alt, right? Alt's
Restraint
advantage.
cancels the advantage of Linus
Yeah.
helping for the first strike.
Okay.
Nat one. As you swing, you see as your blade goes into the belly of the beast. Sliding down, the blade slumps into its throat and disappears out of sight.
Can I try to go after it?
Eat it.
Oh my god.
Can I go within the internals of the?
You want to
the
go
T-Rex?
into the creature?
I have the great axe. I'm ready to go.
Okay.
I'm hasted. I'm ready to go.
You dive in, aim to get
Okay.
the sword.
Okay. So then I'm gonna attack. Let me roll with the great axe.
Okay.
Alt.
You don't have advantage for this
Oh.
strike, so I need you to roll again. I'll take roll it again.
Just
add
one more
advantage.
time?
Roll it
Okay.
again. Add advantage.
Add
and then it
advantage,
should give
okay.
you a normal check. Yeah, because you do not have the help of Linus at this stage. Okay.
Well, which one are you gonna take?
Well, I'm taking the less roll, which is 19, which dealt me 26 points of damage. So
That's why I was like, which one are you gonna take?
All right, Kyle, Theodore, how do you want to do it?
Okay, so I'm diving in, right? I'm grabbing the Bane of Barathun. So I'm gonna put it on my back, and I'm gonna go for internal organs with the axe down. I'm gonna grind down its spine and shit with the with the great axe. Just as I go down, I'm gonna grab, like kind of like Gandalf when he fights the Balrog, right? He grabs his sword. I'm gonna grab the Bane of Barathun, put it on my back, and then grind down the rest of the T-Rex with my axe. Tear it in half.
Crowd beginning to cheer profusely at your endeavors, applauding, standing up, cheering loudly as the creature falls to your strike. As you begin to unbelly and disembowel the creature, striking coming through, you see as Kyler emerges out of the wreckage of the creature, removing the restraints, putting the creature back into position, covered in the creature's blood,
Yep.
guts.
Damn
and
straight.
bowels.
What's up, Tenzin?
I knew you'd be fine.
Damn straight, baby. I'm gonna high five Tenzin.
Hell yeah. All part of the plan.
Sorry about the sticky shit.
That's all good.
Point at Ica. I'm gonna do the yeah.
I'm gonna do the lion roar. Because we just won.
Yep.
Is combat over? Can I walk over to everyone?
Yeah, combat is over.
Fuck yeah.
You finish combat at the middle of round 2 towards the end.
Dude, we built different.
So 8 minutes was the
Had
time to beat, and you all have completed the
seconds.
competition in 12 seconds.
Holy shit!
We built different.
dominated.
Dragon
Let's
Slayers,
go.
stand up.
Oh my
I'll
god.
be sure.
I went into the belly of the beast.
Cool
I'm
Beat
Res,
just
the
gonna go back.
T-Rex in 12 seconds.
you see people begin to come from the northern rampart outwards. Tools potentially to get this creature as the platform kind of sunk down a little bit and then was raised with even more people and more individuals to get the creature off of the sand as they begin to make a way to remove the creature. Cool Res does not say any words. The crowd continues to cheer And you all hear the southern portcullis beginning to be opened, the southern rampart, and individuals begin to come out, a couple healer folks and things, just kind of stretching and looking, seeing that none of you are dead, shaking the hands a little bit, and walk back in.
Just another day's work.
Thanks, Linus.
No,
My
it's
lowest
because
roll, I still
we-
hit 26 damage.
It's because we have experience as T-Rexes. We did some like method acting, basically. You know, we
Dude.
know how T-Rexes think.
In reality, Kyler was like, I fucking lost a sword. I'm not losing this shit again. So he fucking straight up, he went slim. He fucking put his arms down. He went down the belly of the beast.
It's pretty fucking cool.
Woo.
12
I'm like
seconds.
Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Killing the beast from the inside.
Just taking for the stream view. As you return, you see the group's just eyeing you, paying attention, and just staring, right? Anticipation of the time. And as you walk back into the southern rampart, you hear the time 12 seconds as they begin to erupt outwards. You see the groups just look, and you see the high elf standing. You fucking son of a bitch.
Yeah, look at that high elf. What's up? 12.
So the halfling look, yeah, it's all right, don't worry. It's a time thing, huh? Look how injured they are. None of us are hurt.
When he says that,
called
Ferox
strategy.
cast Aura of Vitality.
You'd be also probably healing some of the other competitors in this.
Oh,
Just,
shit.
Just FYI with Aura. As you walk
Well, I
up,
mean,
I
we-
think I can pick. Yeah.
you're gonna
Oh,
pick?
can you? Dude, 92 fucking...
Just flexing on
It
these
heals
guys.
one creature
Bro.
within the aura every.
Bro, Kyler and Elvish.
Oh yeah. Well, you can use a bonus action to cause one creature of the aura to regain 2d6. Okay.
Well, that
Anyway,
went well.
I'm gonna add all my HP back now.
So is the D4s for what?
For the moon sickle.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Okay, and then those are how many bonus actions you can do, right?
Easy.
Each one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marina's gonna give Timson a big ol' kiss.
I think both of you are at full health, given how much you took.
Yep.
Calculating.
I'm absolutely full.
'Cause if I divide the 92 by 2, that's 46 apiece. So
Split it
each of you are given 46. Which, just to make sure.
Absolutely. Easy money.
So you took 38
10
points,
minutes.
Tenzin, and then you took
I got
48. So you're actually -2 after the word
Oh.
vitality. But then
Oh,
you
a
take
couple
the
good
38.
berries.
No, you take the
Yeah.
38, so the remainder. So you get the remainder of Tenzin. So you will take more healing of the word vitality. So you are full health. Because Tenzin only needed to be healed 30.
Yeah. Dude, we're Gucci. You guys ready? You guys want to break this in the first round? How you guys feeling? We kill this next beast instantly. T-poses. you fucking T-pose. Establish
Asserting our
dominance.
Let's go.
We all look at the elf fucking T-pose.
Okay.
Okay, so what? It was like the closest time was 12 minutes or something like that, right? We finished in 12
8 minutes.
8 minutes, we finished in 12 seconds.
Good job,
You
team.
got a little bit of a head
Dude,
start.
Dragon Slayers. Fuck yeah.
T-Rexes are kind of dragons, so like
Big
we were made
lizard.
for this. Yeah, big lizard without wings.
It's literally just easy mode.
Dude.
So, as we come into the second round, I'm going to fast track, so there's no need to rehash essentially what we're kind of going through. So there's a rehash going into the second round of group combat here. I'm going to go ahead and give the times out to you. So the first group finishes in 9 minutes.
Okay.
Then the second group finishes in 13 minutes. And then the particular high elf who was biding the time finishes
6 minutes.
in 2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes. Okay.
Not bad. Okay.
You know what? Gotta have some
The
respect for your
group with
competitors.
the group with the 13 minutes is out. They have lost 2 significant amount of individuals that they are now out of the actual running. Similar
gotta
to
remember-
what happened to the Horn Carvers.
Just because if it's 2 minutes, we still finished 12 seconds in that first round. So like we're still on top. Like we're still
Our
fucking
time
flying
with this
high.
one. We
I,
could
I'm with you, but I feel like Michael is gonna punish us for
No,
gloating.
he's not. No, he's not. He's not. Michael's a fair DM.
But this is a Coliseum. Why would I
He's not
punish
going to
you for
remember the time I beat
gloating?
him in the 3-point contest. He's not going to remember.
Why would I punish you for gloating at a Coliseum?
He's not going to remember the time I team killed
The
him
time,
in Tarkov.
the
He's not
time
gonna
to
remember.
gloat would be literal now.
I
That's
know.
a very
It's
good
just-
point.
The alpha's gonna end up being Goku and just.
We're going
oh,
to
he's
face
only using 1% of his
a
power.
beholder on this round.
You know what? Bring it on.
Okay, I like the confidence. Okay.
For my first time using the staff, my aim was pretty good.
You have a staff?
I got a new staff
I forgot.
from that one lady that you didn't go to.
I'm not like I'm.
I'm gonna
Kyler's just like, hey, nice staff, man. You've had that the whole time, right? Since the boat.
I've got.
He's
I'm
like,
holding up.
fucking know.
I'm holding a book in one hand and a staff in the other. I'm multitasking.
Okay, you looking smart as fuck.
Thank you.
True.
All right, we're good to move.
Did you come in again? You are good to move.
Bro, I'm ready. Give it to me, baby.
Gonna preemptively get angry again.
Yes, now group up with
Preemptive
me.
anger.
Yeah, come on, group up with me. There we go. I'll take the front here. How about that? I'll take the front. Yes, just group up with me. General location.
We'll arrange ourselves in a V like a flock of birds.
Lysandra, get your ass up here.
I'm coming, but I'm preemptively casting Warding Bond on Ferox on the way through by touching her shoulder as I go.
Sounds good.
I'm coming, I'm coming.
So make sure to target and cast. At least cast a spell, so I think it's concentrated. Maybe not.
It
I don't
isn't.
think
That's
I
the
don't think
good
it's
thing about that.
concentrated.
Isn't.
Okay. So make sure at least you spell a spell. So I don't believe an effect. Maybe I do. I do have an effect.
Oh, let me see. Whoa. Let me see.
Well, it's just a thing. I think it's just a thing. Let's see. Yeah, it's just a thing.
Okay.
There you go. Adds 1 to AC and saving throws and grants resistance to all damage for 1 hour. That has been provided to you, Ferox. Just make sure, Lysandra, to deduct the spell slot from your spell list there. Tenzin, you begin to rage, so you take another rage there. Now, as you come out, you can see Lanista up at the hands. Dragon Slayers, congratulations for winning.
I'm gonna flourish. Raise the crowd up.
Crowd begins to cheer.
Yep.
You get to pump the crowd in.
Yep.
Good old cheers here. Okay.
Baby.
And everyone
get
roll
ready to cast
initiatives
haste.
now.
Ready.
Dad.
Awesome.
So I
Right
said
now.
roll initiatives now.
Yes.
Okay.
I also rolled a 4 for the wild.
An 8.
save.
Okay, Michael's definitely fucking nerfing my rolls.
I got 7-11.
I
stay at the bottom.
7-11. Okay. And then for magic
roll.
infuses one of your weapons. I don't think you've gotten this one, have you?
I think I might have gotten it a long
My
time ago, but it
baby.
didn't end up doing anything because the fight ended too fast.
Yeah, so the weapon's damage changes to force. So make sure to remember that one. We don't need and it gains the light and thrown property. So you basically can throw it and gets back. Okay. Yeah, we don't need to change it to force. I can make it. Alright. And then I need to change Ica your initiative to 7-11.
That's pretty cool.
And then you're adding a 6 to your initiative.
I am adding a 6. Let me remove a superiority die.
You go to
Have
14.
you added the 4 as well?
I didn't. That was just a base 6 added. But Michael
Yeah,
has to do
I'm
that.
adding it right now. Okay, so adding the 4 there. Okay.
Why do I roll
Wow,
so low?
coming up between
okay,
me and
okay. I think
Tenzin,
Ica
really.
and Ferox here can maybe represent and know that for some reason Kyler rolls so low on initiative. Like for some reason initiative is just always down at the bottom.
You saved the best for last, right?
I saved the best for last. I hit the killing blows. That was actually one of the rare killing blows I do. Because the T-Rex, I normally do the damage and you guys finish it. Like, that was rare. That was actually rare.
It was earned.
I mean, I was literally being swallowed by a T-Rex. Yeah, it was earned.
All right, so as we begin combat at the start of round 1, the creature unburies itself from the sand as it begins to pull itself upright. It rolled high on its initiative as it does.
did.
It pulls itself out
Another
of the
lizard
sand.
creature.
This creature is large and grotesque with multiple different legs and draconic-like scales with a mouth that opens with razor-sharp teeth and eyes that are bewildering as it begins to stretch and look towards all of you, anticipating you all coming out. As it does, it begins to bubble with its mouth outwards as it begins to throw off a lightning breath.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
It's Lizard Day, guys.
It's lizard. Look at you guys roll high.
That
Right.
breath weapon is
10.
giving me PTSD.
Tenzin with a 16 dexterity saving throw. You have succeeded, halving the
Fuck yeah.
57 points of lightning damage.
Oh, I
in
don't take
total.
any damage because I have evasion.
Yeah, so you don't take any damage because you're able to dive
Tenzin!
underneath it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Now, Ferox,
Absolute
you
king.
succeeded with a 23, and then you have damage resistance to this effect, so you take only 14 points.
There we go.
Good.
Right. As that unveils itself, it sees, it looks, and throws out the lightning, and then it tunnels into the ground, burying
Oh,
itself
damn.
into the earth. As it does that, the only person, I'm going to reveal it once more, the only person who gets an attack of opportunity upon it is Ferox.
Yeah. Just
Stab
swinging
it!
it with my sickle.
Yeah, stab it.
If you want to take the reaction, you can.
Shake it.
Nah, it's not it's just not something she would do.
Nah.
Yeah, it's not a Ferox thing.
All right, so not taking attack of opportunity. I'm also going to Lasandra next. Yeah, I was going to put 14 minus your health points because you take that because of the warding bond, and the creature is now somewhere as the earth begins to rumble underneath you, begins to shake and torment underneath as the creature is moving and shaking the ground. And it's difficult to discern where it actually is. Benson, you're up.
Alright. Wow. So don't know where it is. I am just going to ready an attack. So if it burrows up near me, I'll swing my flail at it.
Okay.
And
Ending
that's
your
my
turn? Okay. Kyler, you are up. Do you hold on? Do you have what level of barbarian are you?
Oh.
Level 3.
You're only level 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you are not hit, your rage will end. Just FYI.
Is it? Do I have to take damage?
Yeah,
Or
you
does
took
this-
damage. You took damage on the round, so your rage is still up. Just FYI. If you don't get hit though, next time your rage.
Okay,
That's I'm
yeah,
just letting you know.
fine.
Okay. Kyler, you're up.
Can we slap him?
I'm just gonna go to Ica with my movement, and then ready in action to attack.
Okay.
Oh boy,
I just have a feeling, you know. I just have to.
a funny feeling,
I have to try, you know.
a little tingle.
All right. Ready attack after moving over to Ica. Rita, you're up.
Let's see. I feel like it went. I'm gonna move over here.
Oh. Marina's from Dune. She can feel the movements in the sand.
Yeah.
She's doing that weird walk
Listen,
across the
she's,
sand.
she's from a desert, okay?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
She's
Yeah,
from
I
a
know.
desert. She knows.
I know. You
She
told me
has
about the
the-
origins of your name and
The
everything.
sand tingles.
Yeah, sand tingles.
And she's gonna. Can I just ready an action with my short bow if it pops up like within my short bow's range? Or is that too much?
I'm gonna say for the context of relative of the field, I probably would classify who exactly it's gonna pop up next to. Just because of where you're gonna be having the bow, like where are you pointing it in vicinity? Like are you
Right,
pointing it
right.
in the direction of like south, east towards the rest of the party, like you're anticipating to pop up to one of the party members, because I'll take that. But if you're going to be popping, like if it pops up, you know, to the left 30 feet
Just
away,
anywhere-
like are
right,
you going to
yeah.
like snap over? That doesn't really make sense.
Look
So.
around. Yeah. I'm gonna. If it pops up near. Shoot. I guess like near Lysandra.
Okay. I'll take the
That's
line.
gonna be
I'll
my-
take if you I'll let you take the ready if you want to set up anywhere in like
Oh yeah,
here.
yeah. Okay, so
Right. So I'm thinking like
Um,
field of view, right? Think about field of view of your
Yeah.
character. Would you
thinking
you can't really ready an
over in
attack,
this
but you're like yeah.
height area.
Joke's on
like-
you. It's gonna show up
Oh,
right
okay.
behind her.
So you're saying more like that.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
like so you would not be able to do like that. You'd be looking over
Right.
in that direction. Okay. I got you. It's like that. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. I'll take it then. Right, Frog Show.
Okay. Well, first time doing this one. We're gonna bonus action dragon. But we have a new
Oh,
addition
damn.
now. Now we could go up 20 feet.
That's
So-
symbolic for the crown.
And then for the action, we got a pretty good aerial view, so we will prepare Call Lightning.
Ooh.
Okay. Do you have the call lightning effect on for the spell?
I don't want to put it down because last time I did, it like targeted everybody.
It's fine. Come on. It's okay. You don't have to if you don't want to. I understand.
That'd be a 4 bullet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No damage is taken. Don't worry.
I'm rolling the
No
dexterity
damage is
saving
taken.
throw.
No!
I nailed it.
Good.
We're not actually rolling, are we?
No,
I
no.
did.
It just targets because it wants to roll the damage. Just that's part of the spell. But yeah,
If
we
you
get the
don't roll, you're not living life.
effect. It's actually important too, this effect, because we never really get into maybe range with Call Lightning, really.
Yeah.
And so, this map actually might pull into Call Lightning's range, like if the actual radius. Most maps never take effect to that because it's so massive. I think it's a 60-foot cylinder, right? But this actually we can see the range. Now, it is a stormy day. There is rain.
Oh,
We
okay.
do have stormy wind and everything, so we're going to be tacking on the extra damage to that.
Damn straight.
We'll kind of yell out to the rest of the group. Try and stay under the cloud.
Creepy.
What fucking cloud looking at Aika? What? What?
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Sandra, you're up.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's gonna move closer to Tenzin so it can benefit from some of those auras. And then I think just ready to attack if it pops up.
You
Yeah.
can't see.
Oh god.
God, Aika, hold me!
Who's touching me?
Aika!
Something touched my leg.
Firm embrace on Aika.
I don't know if you're gonna want to embrace me for that long.
Oh, it's because you can't see each other right now?
Dude, we can't see shit now.
Yeah.
It's just storm clouds.
It looks cool as shit, but I can't see dick.
All right, hold on. Let me see what I can do. It's built into the template. You have it, right? Or is it a
Yeah.
tile?
It changed all of a sudden. I don't know what happened.
It doesn't show on sequencer anymore, and I don't see any tile. Maybe put it into a 4 tile. Let me see. Yeah, put it into a 4 tile. I can edit it. Don't worry.
Whoops.
But I was able to navigate around the whole black by changing the thing on the left to like the measurement icon.
You can also let me see if I can do underfoot. There you go. Be able to see your tokens now. I'm gonna change it to an underfoot for the time being. There's a way to change the opacity of it as well, so I think the opacity might be a better way. But for now, I'll just do it underfoot, so you can actually see yourselves and your tokens. Does that help? We have a loss. No, it's fine. It won't be their turn. Sandra.
Yeah, she's just gonna move here and then ready action in case it pops up, pretty much.
Okay. Ready in action and swing if it pops up nearby you, and then Aika, what are you doing?
You're not gonna want to stand close to me for this one. I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna cast Polymorph on myself. I'm gonna turn into a T-Rex.
Okay. Drag it into your sheet.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to move you just a little bit for the position you would be in.
So now I can't be one shot, as far as I know. I hope not.
Okay.
Kyler's gonna come back and there's gonna be a T-Rex.
Also going to put the concentrated effect on you, because I believe you're concentrating at the point.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm gonna move like right here, and then end my turn.
Okay. Ending turn. Okay. Marina, to your left, behind you, shuffling out of the actual sand, it
God damn it,
appears.
Tyler was right.
As it comes up,
What was I right about?
it reaches
You
out.
were literally exactly right about where the thing popped up.
Oh, did I get to take an attack or no?
No, it's right behind me.
Popped up
Oh.
behind Marina. Marina, you are hit with a 23. Upon being hit by a 23, you take 40 points of bludgeoning and slashing damage as the tail
have
itself
that, please?
wraps around. You can, taking your reaction to half, up to deduct 20. Upon taking this, particular effect, as it begins to wrap around, you are immediately restrained.
Oh,
In a
damn.
kind of a grapple from the creature as the tail is wrapped around you, with large of these spikes is kind of cut into you from the piercing, as well as the bludgeoning from just wrapping around you very quickly. As it happens, you see as the creature kind of takes you and moves you up a little bit towards its mouth, taking the advantage that you are constricted, and grabs out the bite for advantage, landing a nat
God
20.
damn. Holy shit.
Take 55 points of piercing damage as it bites down upon you. After biting down upon you and constricting, it then moves in to swallow you. You are inside of its
Oh my
mouth as it
God.
unfurls the tail.
Marina.
No longer are you restrained from the tail. You're restrained because you're inside of the creature's mouth as the creature slams down its jaw and you disappear out of sight. You are in a swallowed motion. While you're here, you are blinded and you are restrained. You also have total cover against attacks and other effects outside of the creature.
Oh, gee,
if
thanks.
AoEs. Yep. You will take acid damage from the bubbling of its things that's
My
secreting
God.
from its things at the start of this creature's turn. And you will be headed down the gullet as it begins to force you down. Creature, after doing that, dives into the ground,
May I strike
disappearing
it? That's my
into
prepared thing. That's my
into-
ready to action.
So for call lightning, you're saying can I strike it with call lightning?
That's what I was
Are you gonna
ready.
hit me? Is it gonna
Actually,
hit me?
can you call lightning ready action casting afterwards? When you cast the spell, choose a point you can see within range, and then you get to strike. Creature takes the damage. You can use your action to call down lightning this way again, targeting the same point in a different one. I don't know if ready would count for this because you already casted the spell and you need to take the condition upon casting. But I think for the sake of it,
Like,
I think I'm
the
gonna go
idea
ahead.
was to ready to cast it. I know they wanted me to put it down.
I
so
think
was like, yeah.
I think you wanted to ready to cast it. So I think
Yeah.
now we'll cast it and then you can throw it out, which is what I'm saying. Like I think that's the way that I would interpret for the ready condition. So I'm definitely totally on board with you. So go ahead and throw it down. The damage, please. Okay.
34.
34 points of lightning damage. I don't need to roll anything as the creature is immune to lightning damage. As it strikes down, you see it grounded with the scales, freezes the sand into shards of glass. The creature just does not care at all, and it dives into the ground. Marina, for the sake of it, you're going blind.
Cool.
Tenzin, you see as Marina, wrapped, thrown into the creature's mouth, and the creature submerges itself into the sand once more.
So I'm gonna.
It took out almost all of my hit points. God.
I'm gonna separate myself from the rest of the group a little bit. I'm going to try to lay down to make myself as easy a target as I possibly can to try and lure it out.
Okay.
And can I punch myself?
You can. You can
Punch
roll.
myself to maintain my rage.
Okay. You can roll your unarmed damage, please.
Okay. Can I target my? Yeah, I can target myself. Cool.
You can target yourself for a hit if you want. 22 hits
Punch
yourself.
myself. Just go, ah.
4 points of damage to maintain your rage.
All right, and I'm just going to lay prone, and
You're going
Try to
prone.
be a tasty little dragon
yeah,
snack.
I'm trying to be bait,
Okay.
and that's my turn.
All right. Kyle, you're up.
Do I still have Linus with me?
Not anymore.
Okay.
I'm a T-Rex. I can't tell.
Okay.
I can't tell Linus what to do.
Okay, that's fine. Just move out here and ready my action. Attack.
Linus flies over and boards the Tyrannosaurus. Better, let's ride! All right, Kyle, you begin to run out. Ready your attack out there?
Yep, I ready my attack. I had a feeling what this thing was doing.
All right, Marina, you are inside the mouth of the creature. As far as you know, the sounds of the creature are shifting and moving. It's difficult to understand where you are in vicinity of everything with the cackling thunder and the horrendous crowd around you. It's all muted as you're inside of the mouth of the creature. You can attempt to escape if you so choose.
I don't suppose I could hellish rebuke from inside the thing, right?
You only get Hellish Rebuke when you take damage. So upon taking damage of the creature's turn, which is when the acid damage will be dealt, you could attempt to Hellish Rebuke it.
Okay, cool.
Start poking it.
What if I cast Thaumaturgy to have the harmless terrors in the ground originating from our location? Would that cue my party members into where it is?
You don't have line of sight outside of the creature's mouth. Thaumaturgy needs to have, right? You can create auditory within the creature's mouth, right? Make loud noises there. They'll be muted, and it'll come down really to passive perceptions of your party members. That's all I can tell you.
And what would I have to roll to try and escape? What would that roll be?
An acrobatics or athletics.
You know what? I'll try athletics.
Okay.
I'll try to make an athletics throw.
Go for it.
Athletics.
That's what it is!
Wow. At a girl. Nat 20.
Okay.
All right,
Wow.
you swivel out of the creature's mouth, and as you do so, you are in the sand currently, shoveling. This creature continues to kind of wiggle and move its way around. You kind of are getting hit by the creature as it's moving, but the creature itself has kind of maintained its position as of current, and you are having difficulty breathing. Oxygen in the creature's mouth was there, but now you have none. And how far down, you're none sure. You can hear the sounds above you, and all you can tell yourself is, get out of here. You begin to pull the sand, shoveling it back and forth. You're just below the surface. You're not too far down, but you spend most of your movement, if not, you take your movement speed right now is 40 feet. Difficult terrain here to climb out. So you're left with 10 feet of movement left, but you come out as you come out with 10 feet of movement. Now, mobile, mobile counts in the context of using the dash action. Difficult terrain doesn't count against you, and you can attempt to take the dash as far as a bonus action to getting out. However, you are if difficult terrain and constitutes that, I'm going to say that it's acceptable because you're kind of climbing and moving your feet at the same time, right? And you're able to get out. So if you take the dash, you'll still have just the movement, right, taken. So 10 feet, you have 40 feet of movement, difficult terrain. Take the dash, that's going to mean you have a very large amount of movement left, right? You're going to have 40 plus, potentially 25 there or so.
Remind me, are healing potions an action or a bonus action?
Healing potions are a bonus action for yourself to throw in, and then if you try to give it to somebody else, it'll be something.
Okay, so I'm not gonna dash. I'm just gonna get out with the movement I have, and then take a healing potion, the potion of greater healing.
Okay, so go ahead and target yourself, and then use the pot, and then again you do have 10 feet of movement speed left after getting outside the sand. Tenzin prone, you begin to look like a humble little cub. Help me, help! And you see this Marina needs your help, and climbs out of her own accord.
Oh,
All right,
hey.
14 back. All right, 10 feet of movement left.
There we go.
Okay.
And that is my turn.
All right, Frox, you're up.
So, with Wall of Stone, could I theoretically push stone up from underneath?
Are you saying, can I use Wall of Stone to try to get the creature to emerge?
Like, if I held it, like, assuming it doesn't make its saving throw to avoid it, could I then, like, encapsulate it?
I think that would be okay to do. It does not specify an existent at a point you choose within range, and then you can stack the panels underneath, kind of forming a bowl maybe, and then maybe even using and forming like a sphere with the wall. The difficult part is I don't think, because of the size of the creature, that you would have actually enough paneling. In addition, because if I did my math correct, in addition, you don't know how deep the actual creature is. And you will have to start.
Like a held action until
you would have to start at a point. Yeah, I imagine you're thinking, held action. Could I encapsulate it? I think you can form a bowl around it, which would stop, at least hinder it from burrowing at the time. But it might make it difficult for your party members to strike melee attacks at it, given that. It is possible. It is doable. So.
we can at least get it out for a round. And I think that's what we're gonna try and do.
Okay. All right, so we're going to try to use our hold action to use Wall of Stone. We're going to drop concentration then on the lightning. And you're going to try to encapsulate it into a bowl, or at least try to put a platform underneath it to make it so it just can't go down and burrow. Okay?
Yeah. And then I'm just gonna yell out, next time it shows up, get ready to try and keep it above ground.
Okay. All right, we're going to come to you then, Lysandra.
She's going to just do some movement here, I think. And then I think I'm in range for all three of you, so then Tenzin and Marina, she's going to cast Blessed, so you've all got that extra. Just wait.
Thank you.
Okay. You can actually target all three and then use the spell, and should actually put it on all, or I can put the effect on. You can reduce the spell slot, so we could use that.
Can you do it, please?
Yeah, no problem. And then I'll prompt you, I believe, concentration.
Not sure. Hang on.
I've used a number of blessed spells in my day.
I have not. Yes, it is.
Okay. Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
All right. Ica is a T-Rex, currently rode by Linus.
I'm gonna go right here and hope it's around this area. And if it shows up again, I'm gonna ready my bite attack for it.
Okay. Ending your turn?
Yeah. I'm looking around for it.
You hear a deep rumbling and a shifting of movement as it seems to emerge itself behind in your current position. You can
Oh,
take your
thank
held
God.
against it if you'd like.
I want to bite it. Am I able to?
Yeah, you are being helped by Linus as you're being rode by Linus.
Yeah.
Matter! Go ahead and target and hold Alt for advantage. The first strike.
Fuck yeah.
We get so many bites, so
Fuck
many times.
yeah.
You click the button. 28. I'm going to take the first one. So 28 is going to hit with the advantage. 41 points of piercing damage is
Fuck
dealt to the
yeah.
creature as you bite down. We got to give a little roar, don't we?
Yeah.
Another T-Rex on the field of play.
Oh yeah. Make
Okay.
make the DC to see if I grapple it or not, right?
Yeah, so the target has to be, it's a medium
Oh,
or smaller
dang.
creature. So this creature is not
just
medium or
barely too
small.
big.
Yeah, so it's too big for you to actually restrain it. In addition, you just get the bite on a hold. And the way that this works is that, similar to with a creature, you take 2 attacks. Right, it's not just like one attack action. The creature's multi-attack is a thing that they
Yeah.
do on a turn. They take 2 attacks that they have, right, and then they're divided by the bite and the tail, particularly for T-Rex. You only get the bite for the hold here, but as you bite down to the creature, you make a significant laceration and piercing into its neck, and the creature pulls back, angered and upset. At that point, I need you, Rox, to use your hold here. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get rid of the tile. Stop our thunder rolling here.
Yeah, I don't know how the template would work. We'll just put it right here.
Yeah, you can put the template down. I'm going to delete the template, make sure you're still concentrating at least here. And then I'm just going to draw a sphere around you. It's going to be 10, 10, 10. Forming a bowl, you probably get to 15, and then it'd be underneath it. I think a little bit less than that. Yeah, you'd be a little bit less. You'd be like that. And then you'd have a 10-foot like wall that's in there.
Okay.
Around it.
Yep.
I will state, if you wanted to make it the panels a little bit lower so your party members can get over it, you could, but that
Could
might
I-
put you at a disadvantage for the creature being able just to get out of it.
Yeah. Could I try and like shape like some indents into it so party members can like climb up it?
You can leave indentations for medium-sized humanoids to pass through, but the creature can't. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and make it a cranial style, so I'm just going to go ahead and draw little templates out in front here. It's getting complicated. It's
Rox
fine.
kind of a genius. Also, Faith is kind of a genius.
It's pushing it a little.
We're making it work. Wow, thanks, Kate.
Wow.
All right, so the extensions of the template, those spaces, those templates, those 5 squares, those are where the indentations are potentially for you, and so those going through there will be spaces this creature cannot pass. But the rest of it will be 15 feet now, adding on to the rest of it. So you have 15 feet of wall space, stone underneath it, and then you have indentations of essentially spaces between every 15-foot segment of actual stone. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. I think I did my math right. I was really fast at that, but whatever, it's gonna work. Okay, so as you come to the creature's turn, the creature obviously is fixated onto the actual T-Rex here, seeing that in this kind of space and having kind of a tunnel vision of sorts now. The creature isn't very tall. It's mainly long and it kind of snakes around itself. Its height really, it can pitch its head above 15 feet, get up towards 18 feet, but that's about it. So it is going to come around with its tail and attempt to come upwards and just thwack with it. So it comes through. It is going to hit you in T-Rex form, Ica, taking 31 points of bludgeoning and slashing damage as it comes through and whips you with the tail. You're going to see with the 17, and then is going to wrap up its mouth and bite down upon the back of your head there, and maybe even your neck if you have it raised. 19 is going to hit you in the form, and you take 27 points of piercing damage to that. At 20 for the save. So succeeding, staying within the polymorph, indeed. And you are not swallowed, you're not grappled, your creature size is too large for the creature to attempt to do that to you. And the creature has used all of its movement that it could possibly do, unless it wants to try to scale a wall, which then it would just be attempting to get up a wall at that point. So the creature is going to shuffle a little bit in the space, and then I'm going to put it a number above it, showcasing that it is attempting to get out. So it's 10 feet up to the 15, but it's still on the base level, right? It's just kind of pulling itself upwards to get out. That is going to be the rest of its move speed, and that is its action. Tenzin, you're up in the fetal position, looking towards Marina, looking good.
All right. Give her a thumbs up. Stand up using half of my movement. And the rest of my movement will take me here. And if I dash, at 45 feet of movement after I dash. So, do I have enough movement to climb into the little cereal bowl?
The indentations are no climbing necessary. That's why we made the creation of them, or at least for us.
Alright.
Nice.
So, I'll just wander on into the bowl.
Okay.
Slide on in. And feeling a little upset, reckless, enter the Dragon Bowl. The lizard bowl.
That's canon now. Canon Dragon Ball. It's gonna end happening. Frox is gonna use this again. Be like, I'm making a Dragon Ball. That's right.
Do the Dragon Ball.
Do the Dragon Ball, Frox. All right, coming for reckless. Go for the first strike. Flail coming through. So again, force damage is here. So 23 force damage comes through. It's 11 points of damage dealt towards the creature. I think you were targeting yourself.
That's
embarrassing.
yikes moment.
That's fun.
It's actually a dominance thing. I'm showing it that
Yes,
I don't
dominance.
Flail right in your mouth.
Double cross 29 is going to strike as you swing recklessly 7 points of damage to the creature.
And that's my turn.
All right, ending turn. Kyle, you're up.
Welcome to the bowl.
Do I get flanking?
Bull boys, bull
This
boys.
actual particular creature is more perceptive.
Yes or
And
no,
as
my
it
man?
has its body turned, it is no flanking as the creature is turning its
That's all I
body.
need to know.
It seems to be very perceptive and very aware to you running up on it. If you had another
Oh.
person here, I would give you all 3 flanking.
Wow, Marina.
Listen, I was inside its mouth.
I don't need it. It doesn't
26 coming down, slapping onto the creature with 22 points of slashing damage. Kyler,
Was
in
that a-
addition to 22 points of slashing damage, because you're swinging with the Bane
I
of
get
Berry
3d6.
I need you to add 3d6 because this is a dragon type.
Is it slash R or R slash? I can't remember.
Slash R.
Slash R.
Yeah, and then slash R space.
Dragon Slayers into a fight with a dragon.
Now, do I get to reroll the ones or no? That's what I need
no
to know.
rerolling, no
Okay,
rerolling the ones.
that's
So
fine,
20,
that's fine.
28 points of damage for the first strike as you come through. The blade itself whistling. It now glows as it strikes through upon the creature. As the blood coats the actual blade, it's slightly glowing with the cackle of electricity.
All right. We're going to go for it again.
12 does not land as the creature pulls itself back with both of its legs, dodging the sword as it strikes into the stone, cracking into it. Precision with only a 1
Never mind.
still does not hit.
I don't care. Wait, whoops. That was actually not the one I meant to click.
Are you
Sorry.
action surging?
I meant the action. I clicked the wrong one. Sorry.
Yeah, just make sure to put your second wind back
Yep,
up, and then go ahead and click your
ignore
action.
that. I don't. Wait, I need to take away. Wait, I never got hit, right?
Yeah, you haven't been hit yet.
Okay,
I didn't put
okay,
any
yeah.
health on you, so don't worry.
Okay.
You're good.
Ignore that. The
16 does not hit this creature as you come whistling around. It strikes and skims through some of the draconic scales, rolling another precision. That is going to hit now with precision.
And then 3d6.
Correct. 3d6.
And then my last swing.
39 points of damage dealt.
No! Aika, give me a fucking orb.
I can't.
I know.
All right,
I've been
Kyler, as you
20
strike,
T-Rex form.
precision coming through one of its legs, you strike into its legs, almost lacerating one of its legs completely. It then retaliates, swinging its back. As you do, you kind of fall backwards and land proud.
Damn, that sucks. Alright, that's it.
Marina, you are up.
Oh, did you put my second win back on?
I did.
You're a real one.
If I dash, can I get on top of T-Rex Ica?
Sure.
Please. Yes!
Yeah.
I
I'm
was
gonna climb
calculating
up.
I was calculating how tall a T-Rex would be and how much. Yeah, you're good.
At least 5 feet.
I'm
It
got
climbing
mobile.
up on top of T-Rex Ica and shooting him with my short bow.
Okay, I'm gonna probably say you probably want to be a little bit further back so you're not melee to essentially
Okay, yeah,
or
that's fine.
disadvantage.
Like,
I'm gonna put you
here?
here. Yeah, no, I
Okay,
got you.
cool.
Right there.
Alright.
Let's try the T-Rex. T-Rex has to happen.
Oh, maybe?
17 hits, 5 points
Oh,
per sneak.
yes.
Tag on sneak.
Do I get sneak attack on that too?
Yeah. With melee range of 2 targets.
All sixes.
Alright.
All sixes. All sixes.
Wait, is it under feet? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Come on.
Close enough, I guess.
Yeah, pretty good.
13, 5, 18 points of damage, landing into the lower left side underneath its neck region. Takes the blow. It seems to still be alive, but it's bleeding profusely. This red draconic blood cackling with a little bit of sparse electricity just kind of trickling out of its body from the multiple lacerations and piercing wounds.
No, I don't even need to get the kill. I'm just happy that I got to ride the T-Rex and like shoot my bow from on top of the T-Rex.
Victories that matter, you know.
Right. Exactly.
You take them as they come.
Right. And that is my turn.
All right, Frox, you're up.
Okay, so we'll move 20 in the air. Now, could I try and prepare a thorn whip? And the intention here is to kind of like, I want to aid Lysandra to like, when she gets within range, yoink her up and over and like come down over the top.
You want to thorn whip a friend to pull them and kind of yeet them over?
Mm-hmm. Like you, helping them with like their own momentum, like going the same way.
I mean, thorn whip is going to do damage, so I'd probably say if Lysandra wants to take damage.
Okay.
We're the main characters. Who cares, right?
Okay, so just roll
cool.
roll 2d6, and then I'll put that on to Lysandra. And,
Please be 2 6s, please. That's fine. That's about the best you can get right there.
It's gonna prompt you for concentration though, so just FYI, you can't get a nat 1. $22. Okay. All right. So you're being thorn whipped and you're being yeeted.
God.
Okay.
All right. Ending turn.
Yep.
All right. Lysandra being yeeted on top of the creature.
It's just starfish on his back. It's just like, ah.
All right. Make your attacks.
I see some nat 20s.
We're both riding giant lizards.
Yeah.
That's actually inaccurate. Dragons are not lizards.
They're marsupials.
They're more
Dragons
feline,
don't
cat-like.
exist, Michael.
Alright.
Dragons exist? How dare you? I can't pay you for
I've
not.
seen a dragon before.
We have a dragon in our basement.
Exactly.
All right, so target it and swing.
This is the first
I think
attack
I've
rolls, right?
targeted it, but yeah.
Yeah, these are the very first attack rolls kids are ever gonna take, right?
You've never swung your weapon.
A lot of pressure here.
Comes through.
Okay.
20 hits.
Okay.
Where's the damage?
I think you're lagging. 'Cause
He's
you're gonna
lagging.
You're lagging. You're definitely lagging right now.
Hardcore.
Yeah, you're lagging hardcore. Come on, 8
Take it this
points.
time.
Are you using Divine
It
Smite?
has to like travel the line. Yeah.
Okay. First level.
Yes. Which is a
Yeah,
D8.
just Just click Divine Smite in your features.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Multiple times coming through. Take the first one.
It's alright.
So just
and
FYI, when this happens, it's either on the server's end or your end. But because I'm able, if I click this, and immediately goes through,
it's
not-
definitely from
it's
being
definitely
down,
you
down.
right now. Yeah, definitely.
Lysandra
Yeah.
was not meant
So
to
It's
attack.
going across the world.
Lysandra's an
points.
RP only character. No combat.
12 points of radiant damage and 20 points of slashing damage dealt. As you take your first strike, the creature is still alive.
Finish.
Okay,
Striking down,
second.
stabbing, pulling the long sword up. You come around, swiping down between its neck to kind of cleave its neck off, coming for the second strike.
Okay. I'll roll the second strike. It loads.
Oh,
Oh,
Finish it.
Australia.
it's coming through.
Yeah!
How much damage? Wait for it.
Let it roll.
2
Wait
damage.
for it.
Fucking
Don't do
27
anything
to
yet.
hit.
Don't do anything. Wait.
Everyone freeze!
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
It still hasn't loaded.
I've seen
Yeah.
the dice. I don't need to ask anymore. How do you want to do it?
Head off. Just nice and simple.
Got
Okay.
3 rounds.
Nice and simple. So, 11 points of damage dealt. You come through, cleaving off its neck. Its neck is too large for your longsword really to come through, but you get kind of the back half right, and you kind of come off the creature's neck, kind of falls down, just like a chicken with its head cut off type thing, where it's swaying back and forth with blood spurting multiple everywhere. The crowd begins to cheer wildly at this. The fact that you have defeated this monster in 3 rounds, ending the combat here as it begins to subside. The crowd continuing to cheer wildly and impressive.
Alright, what's the time?
T-Rex roar before I turn back.
T-Rex roar
Kyler
back.
again starfished on the ground.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right, so we go ahead and conclude. See, as you retract back, similar
Fucking-
nature,
Fuck yeah.
getting ready for the third
Fuck
and final round.
yeah.
Hell yeah. How many good
Landing
berries you
lead.
need, Marina?
Marina needs a hug, I think, more than anything. Not even good bear. It's just a solid hug.
Do you need some healing?
That's
With the commanding
fucking
lead,
scary
like,
situation.
You have
60
finished.
points of
You have finished
healing.
18 seconds for 3 rounds, but again, we have to tack on a little bit to 21 seconds. So in total time, you had 15, 21 was added
No.
because you're at the end of the rounds. No, I know. 36 seconds is between both. The only other group potentially in the running really is the one with the high elf, the party of the halfling and whatnot. Finished in 2 minutes, and then prior to that, finished in 10 minutes. So there are 12 minutes in total. But it's far and wide and spaced between that. Something major and dramatic must happen.
Hit him.
For
Hit him with a
anything.
slap. What you got, bitch?
Marina, would you like some healing while we're here?
Please.
Alright, let me lay some
think-
hands on you.
Damn, we getting handsy up in here. All right.
Yeah.
Also, can anyone, like, get the dragon spit off of me?
Nope. That's part of the initiation. You gotta take it.
You know what? You know what? You're right.
I
It's
have a rag in my
for the
bag.
crowd.
That was kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you
I'm
got
just,
big.
I'm just gonna pour the contents of my water skin on top of Marina's head
Oh,
and just start
60
just like
group.
rubbing a rag on her. Just like I got. Don't
Um,
worry.
Thanks.
60.
Uh,
Marina
That helps a
chomping
lot.
down on some bear.
I'm just gonna walk over to Marina and cast Prestidigitation. to give her
Oh,
some
thank you so
benefit.
much, Ica.
But I'll
I'm
wait
still just
until
rubbing it. It's like I have some shampoo.
Wow, we're really feeling
Yeah.
it, aren't we, gang?
I'll wait until after Tenzin pours all the water on her and then do it.
I've already got the shampoo frizzing in my hand. I'm just
You guys ready?
Wait,
making
so
you
how
look nice.
much healing do I get and from who?
I believe you're eating a lot of berries right now.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Just put them all in
Oh,
your
60.
mouth.
Okay, cool.
Just fucking just.
You're getting
Chop 'em all.
60 back. I'll put it to you.
Thank you.
What kind of healing do you need, Faye?
Tenzin, let's do some push-ups, bro.
I'm glad I had some good berries of my own.
You're very helpful. Thank you.
Out of combat healing, we're good.
All right, so the warding bond at this point has ended. Tracked.
Oh. Been an hour, huh?
Yeah.
As they been an hour from the competitors going through.
I think she casted it at the start of this last round.
I know.
Mhm.
Let me get to that real quick.
Oh,
Oh,
Edit changing stuff.
gotcha. Wow, it's been that long. Yeesh. What are we up against?
we could finish this shit in like 12 rounds, and we'll still be Gucci.
Okay, so the only healing I had was the 60 good berries, correct?
Yeah.
I think so.
Anybody
well,
else
Sa-
need any healing?
Well, Sandra needs
gonna-
healing.
I could use some
Getting heal
mental
myself.
healing, but I
Tenzin
think
needs
that's
healing.
neat between me and my therapist.
Okay, so go ahead and heal yourself. I think you can manage that on your.
Yeah, light
I don't
hands,
know what
yeah.
Okay. So as time passes, the crowd shrieking, crying, cheering. Much time goes through as the groups pass in. None of them turn.
Fuck you, high elf. We win.
There's the high elf. Their group is the last of one before you as they come through. The high elf is there.
No.
Raising a hand. Barely alive. Multiple different wounds of a variety. Wounds look strange. Difficult to discern. They aren't melee weapons. They aren't ranged weapons. There's no arrow wounds. There's no lacerations. Look upon the rest of the bodies. Some of the bodies are frozen, breaking apart to dust.
Oh, I'm built for this.
Then they cart them away. You notice as Kulirez comes down towards you all. You all need to just survive. Earn the coin.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you. This creature came of its own will to be here. Had no mercy. I do wish you good luck. Walks away. Heads back up to
At
the
least we
balcony.
don't have to worry about the time.
Guys, we got this in the bag.
easy.
Tyler, I
What?
would like to give you a little something for the next round. And I'm gonna start casting a spell and turn it into just a little bead, and I'm gonna hand it over. It's a haste. You can cast it though. Maybe
I can cast it?
you can cast it. All you gotta do is
Oh, is it?
actually, it's hard to explain, but you kind of
Oh.
just do it.
Oh.
You got it. You'll
But
you'll
do I
figure it
eat
out.
it?
I
Do-
mean,
do I
you
throw-
can.
Do I throw it at my feet? What do I do? Do I throw it at
Whatever you feel is right at the time.
Fuck yeah.
Eat it. Throw it at your feet. I don't care.
All right, bet. Does it out of character take an action? Does it take bonus
Yes,
action? What?
It'll take an action,
action?
and it'll
Alright.
treat you as the caster, so you'll be
Bet.
the one concentrating on it, so I can concentrate on other stuff.
Bet. All right, that's all I need to know.
You have the haste spell.
You have the haste spell available to you. This is a class feature. It can only happen once. There is no concentration for the haste spell
Oh.
kept. The way that the spell works is that it is frozen in time at the moment of casting. Essentially, the concentration itself is frozen in the state of Ica at the current present moment, which is relatively unharmed and will not be attacked. So there is no worry of concentration potentially being broken with the haste at this stage.
You feel that? There's something in the air. You feel
Yeah.
that, Ika? You feel that?
We got it.
Thank you. Bet. Let's fucking do this.
Representative approaches you. It's time.
Bet.
Awesome. Let's do this.
Begin to make your way into the Colosseum. Go ahead and pause it. As the crowd itself is quiet and silent, as you begin to rise. What they've just witnessed. Creature coming potentially here of its own work. I'm gonna go ahead and reveal it.
Oh.
And I need everyone to roll initiatives immediately.
Joey, you fucking asshole. This is your fault.
I was joking.
As the creature
is your
hovers
fault.
We'll be fine. We'll
out
be
of the
fine.
rampart with a large eye and multiple tentacles. For those who are original dragon slayers,
Yeah.
Yep.
this
Yeah.
Killed
creature,
the boys. This is the thing that killed the boys.
This
This
creature-
motherfucker. This
this
little
creature
shit.
begins to echo outwards. Chosen ones.
Oh God!
No!
It's him!
It's
Oh,
actually
fuck.
him!
It is
No!
no, it's not. It's not.
Oh.
It's not Balrugar.
Okay.
It's not about
Rem-
Oh my
okay.
God.
Remember,
I thought we were gonna have to fight him.
remember what Balrugar said, that its kin, its
Yeah.
spawn, were went to who?
Damodar?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
As the
That's
creature
easy.
hovers outwards, smiling.
I was joking.
You all die! As it begins to grunt outwards in a large, booming voice, ready for combat immediately upon coming outwards. And oh boy, is it ready. All right. So, it is 10:48 p.m. PST.
Oh my god.
This fight is going to be probably pretty long, considering we have a whole field of combat to potentially go across, as you'll be sprinting and certain things will be happening. This will be very difficult. I will leave it up to you. I'm pretty hot and sweaty, but I'm willing to go the distance if you all want to do
I'm good to
this.
go.
Let's do it.
I
But
joked.
if one
I
person,
literally
if
joked,
one
but
person's
I'm ready.
unable, we won't, because I don't want to press too far into
Yeah.
it.
I'm good.
Everyone's solid.
Are we good?
You could get
It's
Yeah, I
daytime
mean,
here.
as long as it
No peer
depends
pressure.
on how long it is,
It's,
because it is almost 2 a.m. here. So.
it's gonna be it'll be a long fight. All I can tell you is gonna be long, and how long?
Oh, then
like
no.
are we talking like an hour, half an hour?
We're talking maybe an hour. Yep.
We'll finish before then. Oh, for sure.
What do you think?
If it's 2 a.m. and you have to work.
If you have to work, like I said, no peer pressure. If you really can't, if you really can't do it, I don't think
Yeah.
anyone at the table here is going to be upset by it. We
no.
always pick it up.
Yeah, I just don't want to stay up too late. Is all.
Okay, no, totally
I
fine.
have to keep my
Totally fine.
sleep schedule and shit.
All right. Yeah.
All right, guys.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay, so we'll go ahead and have it
Now we have a
paused.
week to plan.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and pause here. We'll go ahead and end the session here. We'll go ahead and conclude. At the sight of this creature coming up, a servant, potentially of Damodar, now turned into one of Damodar's forces, into attempting to kill you all.
Just casually.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna just quit the campaign now. I don't feel good about this. I didn't mean to do this.
Kyler's just
I didn't mean to do this, man. It was a joke. It was
This creature has killed all of the other
Yeah.
groups.
It's
Get
okay. That just
to
means that
you.
it's getting tired.
I know from like the
They wore it down
boys,
for us.
Yeah, you said a beholder had the boys.
the Beholder. Tenzin doesn't know that the boys are.
No.
You guys didn't tell him, so he doesn't know.
That's
That's
true.
true.
Yeah,
That's
Frost
true.
didn't tell him.
Yep. The beholder
This
had
Beholder
killed-
could be the Beholder that got the boys.
It might have. It could be. Who knows? We'll have to find out.
Just
Okay.
yell that out to Tenzin during combat, and then I'll fuck him up. Tenzin, this beholder
boys.
killed the boys.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and calculate some experience points for you all.
Oh, bad.
I will state.
Put that
I
on my
don't-
next character, please.
I will state this for if you want, we can save the experience until after we have concluded the whole Coliseum event. Or I can do experience now.
I think wait.
It'd be pretty fun to get it after.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think there's
Yeah.
any amount we're gonna
Big-
get that's gonna all of a sudden
Alright.
launch us. So it's like I think wait.
Okay, we'll wait for experience. All right. So if you're
By the
watching
way,
the
I should
stream,
make it clear. Kyler's not sharing XP in his solo event. You guys don't get to share that shit. That's all me.
Do I get a little piece
No,
for
I'm
giving you
kidding.
haste?
I'm kidding. Of course, no, it was a joke.
I'm gonna
If you're
give you another
watching-
haste spell.
if you're watching the stream, thanks so much. Will not keep you any further. Appreciate you watching and enjoying, and we will see you again. So.
Bye.
Goodbye.